Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
So, oh, hi, Lisa. Um, Lisa, I have your two boxes ready, so they will go out in the mail tomorrow.
Where's my box?
You, um, really? I have an empty Hirschner's box here that I can send to you, full of yarn.
That's I know I didn't. Oh no, I
So
meant.
you want the box?
n- Would you
Uh, uh,
close your mouth, open your ears? Because I was going to explain myself. No, I'm
mhm.
looking forward to the fabled box of goodies that's been like what you've been talking about for like months now. The Christmas box. That's what I'm talking about.
They don't ship till October 1st.
Okay, you know what I hear? Are you familiar with you're familiar with Charlie Brown? Wah, 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 wah. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a sick trombone.
I'm just hearing somebody whine and cry.
Well, you should be used to it. You got a whole room full of furry things that do that.
So
Hi.
I was letting Lisa know that because she's the one that actually sent me um, the anniversary cakes that I could not buy,
Oh,
and so she actually sent me some,
that's nice.
and I was going to pay her, but she didn't want money. She wanted Aberdeen minis.
Oh, smart
So
woman.
so I put um, some minis together for her, and then some other treats.
That sounds nice.
But then she has a daughter that watches with her. So I made her up her own special box.
Well, you know what the church lady would say. In that special.
Well, it should be special.
In that special.
Now look, you keep it up, and you're going to end up with two of those Hirschner boxes full of yarn on your doorstep. And I'll wait until Mama's home before I send them.
I wouldn't put it past you.
hmm I can play dirty too.
Yes, no, I'm well aware of that. You and Maleficent and Cruella, you're like this. I know. I know you is.
So let's see
Uh,
what's the matter.
since we didn't really have an opportunity, Matt, it's very nice to meet you.
Oh, it's awesome to meet you, Craig.
Always nice to meet, a fellow Stitcher. And it's always nice when, we have, no offense to the ladies, but it's always nice to have, more representing, it's always nice, have more guys in the crew.
Exactly.
I wish Buddy was able to make it.
Did you try texting him?
I did.
Okay. Well, life has a inevitable, weird, fun way of happening, especially when least expected. Um, I did message Michael, and he said that he was busy working on a really elaborate project right now. I tell you, it looks incredible. And I give him all the credit in the world because it looks very, very elaborate. And there's a lot of color changing going on and a lot of planning and this, that, and the other. So it's not something that I've ever done before. So I give him tons of credit on that one. So he's trying to finish that up in a hurry, which I understand.
Uh, Good morning, Barb, and hello, Bonnie, and
Hello, hello,
Sarah.
hello.
Hello,
Sarah's
everyone.
Twisted Stitches.
And
Um,
Mr. Matt, what are you working on?
I
oh,
am
don't get me started with him tonight.
I wasn't talking to you,
I am
host. I was talking to him.
I am
Yeah,
actually working on
look at this
a
though.
blanket.
Yes.
Come on, show it. Come on.
Ooh. I love the colors.
So this edge piece is Malabrigo Micha,
Mm-hmm.
the color wave Arco Iris. The two browns, these two rows are actually yak yarn.
Ooh.
And then this one is, well, it's alternating. All of the square in the middle is all Malabrigo Rios. But the
Now,
green
is that
all
Malabrigo Merino?
huh?
Is that like Malabrigo Merino?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah. The outside, the this color, that's
Mm-hmm.
Malabrigo Micha. And then the centerpiece, the centerpiece is Rios.
Because
So
I
it's
love Merino.
it's all merino. Those are
Oh.
all merino.
So, in other words, you needed to like get a second mortgage in order to make a blanket.
Actually, I've had um when I knit, I usually use those. Um and this was I'm actually doing this for a special friend.
Must be very special.
And so I've made like this one, the Micha, I made something else out of it. So that's like I had half a ball, like half of, so it's all stuff that I've got like scraps and stuff of that I've used.
Ooh, I love. That's great. No, I love it when you can find a good use for something that is just like this random stray ball that you're like, I cannot throw it out. It's not Red Heart. It's not
Yeah,
carrying
exactly.
1 pound. It's like no. This needs to be put to some use. No matter what, this cannot be cut up into little bits and used as stuffing for an amigurumi cactus. No, it needs purpose.
Yeah. And then it doesn't
Hello,
show it real
Karen.
well. It doesn't show
Hello,
it real well,
Deborah. Hello,
but
Christy.
that's the green.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm just trying to get caught up here, guys, because there's a bunch of people coming in.
That's okay.
Hello,
quite all right.
Barb.
That's the green that's in the
Hello,
middle.
Brandy.
And
let's see.
where is it?
I hope I didn't miss
And then
anybody.
this is the darker one.
Well, if it's merino, it's gorge. So, and that's got it looks like a lovely like wine color in there.
Hi,
Yeah.
Robin.
Hi,
Isabel.
It's got the wine and the like black and dark purple, dark blue.
Yummy.
It's really pretty stuff.
Yes, it is.
Sarah, the CEO is somewhere around here. She's been in my arms most of the day because that's where she wants to sleep today. But she did help me put Lisa's and Nikki's box together. So, Rob is here. Okay, let me see. So Rob is. I figured Rob and Heidi would have been in bed. Let's see.
How are you both?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, there's Mama.
Oh, he wants to show you this scarf.
Oh,
This was actually one of your patterns.
Granny Merge, right? No, Granny Virus Merge. Oh, lovely colors. Very psychedelic. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Red Heart Melange is what I made that out of. It was this one.
Really pretty.
So it came out really nice. I was really pleased with it. And I like that pattern. It's a lot of fun. That and the regular virus the regular virus shawl. I love the two of those patterns.
Oh,
Both of those two
here's-
patterns.
Here's the
Well,
other
when you
one.
do the granny, it's like it's a nice little break for a bit. You know.
Yeah. Here's the.
Oh, I love those colors.
Yeah, I have to
Reminds me of
steer
Water Lilies by Monet.
Yeah, right. I steered him towards these colors because he wanted to do them with these, and I said, no, you need more color, you need more variation.
Well, also there's a
So
lot of color, but also it's muted. It's like
Yeah.
watercolor. It's sort of
Right.
muted. I mean, there's a lot of different colors in there, but it's muted, so that compensates for the variety of colors.
Right.
Well, it has
right.
that antique,
Vintage look.
like vintage,
Yeah,
Right.
and so it-
like kind of.
and it shows
look to
the
it.
stitches really well.
You know what? Also, that colorway would look awesome in a Bavarian.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the only problem with that though is you would need a lot of yardage because the Bavarian stitch it eats up yarn because it's a textured stitch.
Mhm.
So
If
you would need a lot of
you can get
yardage.
it on sale, and it's not too bad.
What?
Not, this yarn.
Yeah, because it's
Roll with it.
it's the melange that I made that out of.
So somebody asked, what am I working on? I am presently working on a very, very, very long and arduous project that has already taken me, I want to say, a couple of years, and I'm nowhere near done yet. I'm like maybe halfway-ish through. Hello.
It's a guy's night. I tried barbarian.
Good evening, everyone.
And it was a
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm just
Fiber,
making
fiber.
lots and lots of little hexies by basting fabric around little cardboard pieces. You know, take a little cardboard piece, take a square of fabric, and then you baste the fabric around this. Then you take a whole bunch of them, and then you stitch them together, and that's the back side. And you just put more and more and more and more and more of them together. And I've got like a stack of blocks that are already stitched together. It's going to take me forever. I was hoping that I was going to get the quilt top done by this winter. It ain't happening.
You know what? Whether it be this winter or next Christmas, as long as I get the blanket, we're good. You know?
Okay. You guys can quote me on this. Over my dead body. Okay. And even then, I want to use it as my death shroud. I want them to sew me up inside of it and bury me in that quilt when I'm finished with it, because the whole thing is hand sewn. So nobody is ever going to get it. Nope.
Don't say nobody and don't say never because you love Russ. Just saying.
All right, can I?
Saying.
I just want to say something. Fiber Spider, it is a pleasure meeting you.
You too.
My wife just got done making a blanket with from your pattern.
Oh, which one?
Corner to corner, kaleidoscope.
Oh, lots of ends. Lots and lots of ends.
If Russ can full picture, my wife wants to show everyone.
Let me see. Whoa, my goodness.
Wow.
There's my blanket.
You're making the pattern live up to its name. Wow.
I'm telling you, my
It's
wife.
the second chance, the pine green and that orange, and then I used the antiquity, Hirschner's antiquity bonfire.
Oh,
I love the antiquity.
That is really cool.
I'm telling you, my wife does some amazing work.
didn't see your green one.
I see that.
My wife does some amazing work. So
Man.
So and I actually have to give you credit because your pattern was the first blanket I ever did.
Oh,
No, that's
wow.
no, that's a cool blanket, Matt.
Yep.
Now,
That
is
is
that
a really good
that's
blanket.
the kaleidoscope granny, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool.
That is.
I love how it's got all the like it looks like it's got layers to it, but it's all one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Anderson. You know, it's just I love any sort of like visual optical tricks that you can achieve.
Yeah, and that's I'm kind of the same way. And so, and this was actually, I got the inspiration for it. Rebecca made a Mexican blanket,
Mhm.
like the ones that have all the colorful stripes.
Yeah.
And so this was my kind of take on the Mexican blanket.
You know what? Okay. It actually reminds me, and I mean this in a good way, so don't take it the wrong way. It reminds me of the Island of Misfit Toys, like the bright Christmas colors. I don't think Southwest. I think Christmas, but it makes me think of the Island of Misfit Toys, especially that like really
Yes.
multicolored stripe in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Red Heart Mexicana.
It totally makes me think of Christmassy stuffs.
Matt was Karen wants to know, was that a difficult pattern?
No, I mean that was my first blanket.
Well, you rocked it.
Absolute first blanket. Like when I started that, what I had been crocheting like 3 months, and I started on that blanket.
Yes. That's right.
So I thought it was fun. I had a good time doing it.
Well, the granny is a great way to like jump in because you get a lot of mileage for your effort with anything granny because you're working into stitch spaces, not into actual stitches.
Yeah.
So it goes that much faster and you can go on autopilot for the most part.
Yeah, and I found it like your tutorial was really good, and I enjoyed like just crocheting along with it. You know,
Well, you know me, I'm glad I can help in any which way.
No, I've used a couple of his
because
patterns.
I knitted for quite a while before I took up the crochet hook, and so I've actually less than a year I've been crocheting.
Go you. See, it's funny because me, I started the opposite way. I started with crocheting and then I went into knitting.
Well,
Yeah.
I started knitting, and then I got frustrated because Rebecca was finishing these projects, and I'm still like, puttering along, like halfway through what I'm doing. It's like, no, there's got to be a better way.
I have you all beat because let me show you.
Well, in your yarn stash, I'm sure you do.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I have the original.
Oh, nice.
Yes, you got
That's very
bragging
cool.
rights.
Who is
I
that
have the
from?
original.
Well, that's the C to C. That's not the granny. That's the C to C.
I don't care. I still have the original.
Me, 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 me,
Take that one. I got you. I got
me,
you all
me,
beat.
me, me.
I can say I have the original.
That's all right. My goal for next year is to at least make one blanket for Boggy Creek. That's my goal for next year.
We have to help somebody out.
What's the matter?
Let's see. Karen's made your virus shawl, Craig.
Ooh.
Lorraine, I've subscribed to everyone. Lurking. Okay, Lisa's just lurking. Oh, she's working on Christmas presents. Mama Winch is in here. Sarah's in
What's up,
here.
Mama Winch?
Hi, Mama.
I'm just trying to catch up over here with this the chat.
The feed.
Bernice is working on your Tunisian shawl.
Oh, I hope you like it, Bernice. Well, I have another shawl coming out tomorrow. It's a long one. It's a two-parter, but it's not hard. I promise. It is not hard. It's only a 3-row repeat, but because of its shape and design, the rows they're long. Let's see. Oh, Samantha, I'm so glad we could all help and everything. Yeah, the Bavarian was a lot of fun to do, but yes, it eats up yarn like a tapeworm. I mean, it's terrible.
Does that mean that I can go out yarn shopping if it eats up yarn?
Yes.
Heidi said yes.
Okay. Yes, if you actually use it.
What do you think I'm doing now? I'm using it.
But see, the ratio is so off. The ratio is skewed. Your buying is like here. You're using it's like
Yeah, but in my defense though, I just packed up 3 totes of yarn to give out to the Boggy Creek for blankets.
okay, good.
See? That's Russ.
He's
I
making.
know, but Russ, you put the whore in hoarder.
I did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, he's getting rid of old yarn to make room for new stuff for when he buys it.
I know. It's just, Russ, I tease you because I love you. Okay. It's like if I don't mess with somebody, then you got to look out. Okay.
We are having a good time.
Yes. So it's like I tease you because I love you. So what I was saying before about the shawl,
and
it takes
why
up.
I'm getting a little hexagon blanket because you love me.
Yeah, not that much. Sorry, not that much.
I will take my new car and come visit, and Mama sends you to the store. And while you're at the store, I'm going to put that blanket in my car.
I wouldn't even let my mom have it when I finish it.
Yeah, but you love me more than your mama, so we're even.
You do realize that this is being recorded, right? You got to be careful what you say. But okay, Russ, blow me up.
Now look, this is a PG channel.
The picture, you dingus.
Oh.
Jeez, the maturity level is like bottoming out here. My goodness. No, I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what's coming out tomorrow. It is a variation on the Arbor shawl. It's a wraparound design.
Ooh.
This way, when it's on, it ain't going nowhere. It will not fall off your shoulders because instead of 3 points of increase, so you've got, instead of like the usual triangle shape where you've got, the 2 sides where, you're increasing just on the straight edge sides there, and then 1 spine in the center. With this one, there's the 2 edges, and then there's 3 spines of increase. So there's a lot of increasing going on, a lot of different points of increase. So this will not go nowhere when it is on. I was desperately trying to do more of a crescent shape or like a half moon shape, but I figured, you know what, this is more, more of like a square shape with a slit down the middle of it, so that you can wrap yourself up in it. So it is a wraparound design. So this, you won't need like a shawl pin or anything like that. You can just pop it on and you are good to go. And because I love this time of year. You know, I wanted to do the leaf motif, and this is in Lion Brand's Mandala bonus bundle in the colorway of Centaur, which I thought would be absolutely perfect. The leaves haven't started changing yet, but they will soon. So this is what I decided to do for this weekend. So you can see the multiple spines going on. I know my lighting isn't great, but what can you do? But I love how this came out. Absolutely.
That's
So because I
beautiful.
like to be thorough, I did put it into 2 parts for tomorrow.
Well, you did a good job on that. That turned out really good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shawl.
And it only took 1 bonus bundle skein, and I still had a little bit left over.
That makes it even better.
It works.
Yeah.
Totally works. So I've been a busy little bee. What you got there, Russ?
This was a gift from Lorraine, and Lorraine is in here. So I've not opened it yet, and
Open it.
I want to kind of open it. So I'm going to make myself solo for a little bit, but
Sure.
I still love you guys.
It's okay. We'll talk smack about you behind your back. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
You know you can
But-
talk smack in front of my face. I don't care.
But Russ, you know, like you said, you know, we're all here to have a good time and just have fun.
That's right. And if I go underneath the table, don't think nothing of it.
Wouldn't be the first time.
And it's not the last either. Oh, we have a note. We have a note.
You got to read the note first.
We have a note.
Watch your phone. Your camera's out of here.
Let's see. I was thinking one night after one of your live and came up with this design. So I
Ooh.
had my daughter make these items for you. Oh, her daughter's in here too. I hope you like them. She made a slight boo-boo, and that's how the small bag was added. There is no boo-boo. Love, Lorraine. P.S. Hi, Kevin. Can read if you choose. Well, Lorraine, I guess I chose. So we're going to see what we got. All right.
What the heck was that noise?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What we got? What we got? Oh. We have, oh, I like that. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Look at
That's
that.
very cool.
That is cool.
That is really awesome.
Yeah.
It's raining yarn balls. Oh my gosh.
And you got the kitty and everything.
And it's my CEO.
That is top notch.
And look at that.
That shirt
is
is incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It's Lorraine who got it. Huh?
Oh, look at this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That is really, really, really cool.
That is.
That is.
I love that.
Lorraine, is this a sticker, darling?
It looks like it could be a sticker.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it is. It is a sticker.
Make sure your picture stays in it. So
Oh, it's a sticker.
You need that in your like Teespring store, dude. That's awesome.
Look at that.
That's very cool.
I love that.
That's perfect.
Lorraine, that is awesome. Well, actually, I think your daughter's in here. Is your daughter still in here? That's awesome.
Very, very, very
That
cool.
was a
I'm very
really nice
impressed.
T-shirt.
And we got something else in here. Oh
Is it edible? What is it?
no, it's a
Ooh.
cup.
I was gonna
It's a
say, is it a
cup.
coffee mug?
It's raining yarn, and it's got the yarn balls. It's
That is
raining
cool.
yarn. It's
That's very,
raining
very
yarn.
cool.
That is awesome.
Oh, Lorraine, thank you. Tell your daughter thank you. Oh,
That's so awesome.
That is awesome.
That is. I like that. That turned out really good.
that
It
blows
makes
me.
me think of the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
very, very vibrant, very whimsical, and very much up Russ's line because you got the supervisor, you got the yarn. It's all themed perfectly.
Oh,
Very, very awesome job. You should be proud.
Yeah, that's
I'm-
amazing.
I'm at loss for words.
I don't blame you. Well, and that's a first. You lost for word. What?
Yeah, there's usually only one time that I don't speak, and we won't go there because this is a PG channel.
Saw that coming.
It's funny, I never see it. My little straw for my cup. That is so awesome. Lorraine, thank you so much. I am at loss for words.
Lorraine, you did a good job doing that.
Russ, you need to send me something so you can include a sticker. Send you my stickers? What's wrong with you? Actually, Lorraine, does your daughter do business?
It's business worthy.
I mean, does she do stuff like this? Where she sells her stickers? Because I would love to have a bigger project bag with that cat design.
Tote bags.
Well, not only tote bags, but notion pouches. Okay, Lorraine,
With zippers.
Lorraine, I am sending you a text message right now.
A lot of people who want to.
That would be so
Because-
cool for like a little crochet bag thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it hits all the marks.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Sorry.
Mr. Rob, what are you working on, if anything?
I'm doing a scarf. That's gonna be my first project. Is
Still learning.
I'm still learning,
That's
but
you know what? Scarves are a great first project because basically it's a long swatch. It gets you used to what you need to do.
Yep.
Perfect choice.
Yeah.
well, like I said earlier, my goal for next year is I know I won't be able to get 3 or 4 or 5 blankets done like a lot of people, because they've been crocheting a lot longer than I have.
That's
But
fine.
my goal for next year is to at least make 1 blanket for Boggy Creek. So,
That's totally respectable and fine. I mean, you got to start from somewhere. So you got a goal, go for it.
oh yeah.
Exactly, Tilda. That was all the things.
Speaking
So,
of which, is Juan going to be around tonight?
I sent him a message.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No one loves me anymore.
Today was his big
Shut
day.
up. Nobody loves you anymore. Yet, take that back.
Russ, if nobody loved you, we wouldn't be
Here.
here,
Yeah.
having fun
Exactly.
with you.
I might feel a little bit more love if I had the hexagon blanket. Just saying.
Fiber spider.
Okay, you know what, Russ?
He's not gonna let that go.
Hey, if
No.
you want one, you can always hit Shell or Ruth up. They're making them too.
Either that or you can just make one yourself.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. When I can grab something and say I have the original, that's saying something.
Russ, I'll make you. I'll make you a deal. I'll cut you some slack. All right. I'll give you the option of which cheek you can bite,
Well,
left or right. Okay. So seriously.
so just remember, I have a large yarn budget, and I can start having a box of
And you're
yarn
not
shipped to your
afraid
house
to use
every
it?
day.
What was that?
I have a large yarn budget, and I can have a box of yarn delivered to your house every day until I get the blanket.
Okay, but that sending me yarn is not going to make this thing, work up
Your-
any faster.
Eventually, your mama's going to get tired of the yarn showing up, and she's going to send me the blanket regardless.
But it's not even done yet. You can't rush, artisanship.
Okay, I have to go. Okay, Sarah, you have a good work day, darling. I'm saying when the blanket's done. So it's like, you can either give it to me or yarn will just show up at your door every day.
Picasso can only paint a picture only so fast.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Picasso. We're talking about Craig,
Fred.
Fred,
the
Fred.
fastest fingers in crochet.
Fred. Fred. Not even Right said Fred. No, just Fred.
All right. So Fiber Spider,
Yeah,
where are you from?
Long Island, New York.
Oh,
All right, on.
Or as the locals would say, Long Island.
okay.
LAWNGUYLAND.
I think the farthest I've been out that way is Pennsylvania.
Okay. Well, actually that's where Mama Spider is right now. That's why it's so quiet here.
Hey.
Yes, Bonnie, it is safe to say that he wants it, but he ain't getting it.
And look, guess who's going to be swimming in yarn next year?
Russ is gonna send you a box every day. I could hear it too. I could just picture it right now.
Hey, if it was me and he was sending a box every day until he got it, I'd work slower.
It's sort of like Uncle Vernon tearing up the messages for Harry, and they just keep pouring in through the mail slot and down the chimney, Total Harry Potter reference. It's like before you know it, it's like I'm gonna see yarn in my cereal.
Those big yarn boxes that I get from Hirschner's?
Yeah.
I'll have one of those shipped to your house every day.
Not if you ship it FedEx.
It does go FedEx, but you know what? I get my yarn from Hirschner's.
Don't get him mad.
I have no trouble getting my FedEx packages from Hirschner's. Only from Premier.
Ah.
And now me and Joanne's is fighting.
You're always picking fights with somebody.
They won't let me buy yarn.
Why won't they
Did they
let you
cut
buy
you off? You
yarn?
had too much. They're afraid you can't drive on the way home.
I don't know, but
What?
Like, no, Russ, you've had enough.
no, you can never have enough yarn.
It's,
So Russ, what do they do? Basically, like ban you from walking in there?
No, so I don't have a Joann's close to me, so I have to order it online.
Oh, okay.
And when I go to my cart, it just sits there and spins. And then when it lets me get to the cart, I go to the secure checkout and put my credit card information in. Then I get a PIN number from the credit card company saying now you're able to check out faster, but it won't pay the bill.
So you get it for free.
So I cussed them out.
are you doing it for the app or online?
Online?
Yeah, because Heidi's got an app for it.
No,
No.
I was having a problem on my phone a few months back ordering it both through the app and the internet browser. So what I ended up having to do is go on a laptop to do it, and it worked. Completely different device.
So basically, maybe that's what you're gonna have to do.
So guess what? After my live, I'm going to and get on Kevin's computer, and I'm using his credit card to buy my yarn.
Oh,
There you go.
Does he know this?
It'll teach him to go to bed on me, won't it?
Spoken like a true Russ.
Oh, Michi. Hi, Michi.
What's up, Michi?
Hi, Michi.
What about Grape Road? So Carmen, that is about 45 minutes from me. So it's not really close, and I don't feel like driving 45 minutes. And according to online, they don't have it anyway.
There it is.
I have to go to Fort
Mine
Wayne.
is in the refrigerator.
Okay. It's like just a little bit in there.
But they have some yarn that I really want,
You're going at 100%.
and I can't get my hands on it.
Yeah, I'm down to 47. Nope. I can always go on.
no, I got it.
I'm talking about Joann's, Michi. I can't get my order placed, and I want the yarn really bad.
You've been shadow banned.
I want that yarn really bad. I would like a couple of the green anniversary, but too much. Yeah, they're the lowest that I've seen them was $27 for the anniversary cakes.
That's expensive.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
well,
yardage though.
You get 1,000 yards of a
Oh,
It's like
okay.
it's a weight of 5 though, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a weight of 5, and there's a lot of yardage, which most of the time, the umpteenth majority of the time, if it's a weight of 5, you are not going to get that kind of yardage.
No.
You're talking 100, maybe 200 yards.
Yeah.
If you're-
Well, when I
It's
went
usually like
to
100 and something.
I went to Michael's the other week, and I saw this young woman there. She had this deer in the headlights look about her, and I'm like, I got to save this girl because she had one of those gigantic skeins of yarn where the yarn weight was like an 8. It was like a 6, or like it was like this really like thick rope of like plush, not even yarn. It was like Muppet intestine. And you know, I'm like, you don't want to do that. You know, you don't want to buy that. And she's like, why? It's really it's pretty and stuff. And I'm like, no. Look at the yardage. It was not. I think it was maybe like 30 yards.
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, listen, yes, you can work with that and finishable and get fast, but do you realize how many skeins you're going to need to make a blanket? If that's what you're making, you're going to need like dozens of skeins to make something of a substantial, like a comforter. Yeah. You know, it's like, you know,
That was definitely the evil wizard laugh.
Yeah,
I was thinking like, Prince
that sounded
Humperdinck
like it.
from The Princess Bride. It's like, ha, it's
Oh,
like, no,
yeah.
this is the pit of despair. No, no, no. So I told her, I'm like, listen, no, it may take you longer to make your project, but no, you want a thinner weight, like at least a 4. 3 is even better if you don't mind working that small.
How about
But
a
like,
2?
like yardage is worth it.
558 yards of a 2 weight for $3.
And then I then proceeded to ask her another fateful question. So you know about dye lots, right? She's like, what are dye lots?
So
Hi,
So
Miss
I'm like, you know
Dawn.
what?
Hi, Miss Dawn.
Hello, Dawn. So I gave her the quick 411 on dye lots so that she wouldn't make the mistakes that I made when I first started, because we all start from somewhere. And she didn't know who the hell I was. Even after she's like, so I told her my channel name, and she had no idea who I was, which sometimes is kind of cool because it's like awkward when they do know, which has happened. But I was just so happy to help her out because I wish that I had somebody to help me out when I was in her shoes.
Oh, you should have just called me. I would have helped you.
Like I can't mind my own business when I'm in the yarn aisle. I'm always like, yo, what are you making? And then, I'm nosy. I'm nosy. I
That's all right.
can't help it.
I did my first yarn purchase a couple weeks ago.
How'd it go?
Well,
Pretty decent.
it went okay. I bought the yarn at Walmart because they had a clearance sale going on.
Hmm.
So I
I go there all
basically
the time for yarn.
So I basically pretty much bought out all the discontinued and clearance yarn that they had, and I had people just looking at me like, "Why is this guy buying yarn?" But yeah, I thought I did pretty good. I bought Russ's favorite color,
Pink sparkle.
hot pink.
Yep.
I wish it had sparkle in it.
I like sparkle in yarn.
I ended up with like 28 hanks of sparkle yarn that I don't even know how I ended up
Yeah,
with.
that exact color, Matt. That exact color.
Blinding.
But I wasn't. I was telling myself, well, I shouldn't get black yarn because I don't know if a lot of people use it, but I bought it anyways. And so my wife can do whatever she wants with it. She says she's got a plan for it, but I don't know.
What I might recommend to you is take the black yarn and pair it with a really vibrant color and hold both strands together and work with that as if it was one strand, almost like a tweed. And the black will offset the pink. Like, for instance, if you worked with the black and the pink together, holding both strands together, the black will offset the pink will offset the black, and then you come up with like this really awesome looking tweed.
Oh, okay.
And because it'll be thicker, you can use a bigger hook and it'll work up faster.
So basically, like just kind of like twist those two colors together and
You
then
don't even need
crochet
to
them,
twist
or
them. You don't even
No.
need to twist them, just
You
hold
just
them
hold them
together. In
together.
fact, if you
Hold them
twisted
together.
them, you would run into more problems with the ply of the yarn. Just
Okay.
don't twist them. Just have like 2 skeins of yarn hanging out next to each other. Grab a strand from each. Try to keep the tension even on both of them, so that like one isn't flip flopping and the other one is really tight. But just hold them together, and you can create a really awesome tweed.
Dawn, go ahead
All
and
right.
drop your channel link, darling. You're a moderator. Drop your link. Let's see.
Yeah.
Just trying to. Okay,
My-
you have 2 packages, but not the. Dawn, it's okay if you don't make the tiger. No hard feelings, darling.
Ah,
No hard feelings. I just joke around with people all the time.
I want to show you what I mean. Just a moment. Just need a big
Oh,
hook.
hi Jen. Hi Carson. Oh, we got. I
yeah.
actually have 74 people in here. Everybody.
Good
So
job.
right now I've got 2 colors, very, very different. I
Okay.
got a blue and sort of a earth tone. In fact, I think this might be leftover centaur actually. So just holding them both together, and this is a size 7mm hook, or it's just a number 7. I can never remember which. I think it's a 7mm. So I'm just working both yarns at the same time, and then going into the 4th with a double. And also, as you're working it, be sure that as you're doing your stitches, that you're catching both strands of yarn, and that you don't miss one. You will run into a problem if you don't get both strands.
Oh, okay.
And so just work them both at the same time. And I didn't twist them together. I just have 2 balls of yarn next to me. And see, I'm not twisting the yarn. I'm just working it. And then chain up and turn. Do another row. And so one color will offset the other. And if you're using 2 colorways that change, like for instance, say you had 2 ombres and you were holding them together at the same time, the results, the effect can be really, really, really cool. Now, if you're using a colorway that has a quick changing variegated quality to it, like it changes color every couple of inches, don't use both of 2 yarns like that together. Your eyes will scream at you. If you're using one that changes color really rapidly, then the other color I would suggest should be a solid. So one has to offset the other.
Okay.
But if you had, say, 2 ombres, that could look really, really awesome. Or 2 solids, or a quick change variegated and a solid. Or, there are a lot of different combinations that you can do. Some more subtle, some more dramatic. You can use a really thin weight of yarn with a thicker weight of yarn. Nothing wrong with that. They don't have to be the same weight. Just whatever total thickness you end up with, be sure that you use a hook that will accommodate the combined thickness. Otherwise, you're going to end up a really stiff fabric.
Okay. Yeah, because right now I'm working on the thicker yarn as starting out.
With the 5.
I'm working with a 5 weight.
Okay.
So, and I'm using what is it, 6.5mm?
No, I gave you.
Or is it a 9? 9 with a 9mm hook.
Wow, good. I mean that you'll fly with that.
Yeah, there's some times where I can just get it real quick, and then there's a couple times where I try to get in there and then it'll just stick. But but I don't have none of the stuff, no tension on it. I have it loose to where
You get very little tension.
So
these were the 2 colors that I was working with. Obviously, they are polar opposites. One is really, really vibrant. The other one's very muted and natural. And then put them together.
That is cool. I like that color combo.
And you end up with a completely unique blend. And that I just did literally just now. You saw me start it.
Yeah.
And so you could just do an entire project like this, or what you could do, I'm just throwing out ideas around, So for instance, you could then go from using both of these colors together, the blue and the brown, then stop working, say like the blue, start a new color, and then you're working the brown with a new color, and then you could then drop the brown and start a new color, and you can create like variations of different color combinations as you go.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
All right.
it's sort of like blending the colors, you know, yet you're not actually like twisting them together or anything. You're just, you know, combining them in such a way that you have like sort of a air
Good night,
sets
Hexie.
tweed.
Have a good night, darling.
Good night.
Good night, Michi.
So that
Good night,
food for
Michi.
thought. Food for thought.
But that blue, that color blue that you have, what do you know what the exact color is, or
I want to say
it looks like
based on,
it looks like a turquoise.
well, I think I know the brand and colorway. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is Mandawa, Lion Brand Mandawa in the colorway of Spirit, because there's a very
Okay.
vibrant sort of turquoise color in it.
Yeah, that's a pretty color. I like that color.
Well, the whole skein isn't this color. It has like a range of color to it.
Okay.
But this was just part of, you know, a skein that I had left over. I don't throw anything away. But I'm glad I didn't, because I got to show you something that might help you out.
Yeah, you did. I did learn something today. So
That's the best thing, you know. And you know, it's color theory is not something you're just born with. Like, no, you have to learn from trial and error and experience and stuff like that. And believe you me,
Yeah.
I've made plenty of mistakes. And one of the biggest ones that I made, I must have said this before here, Russ. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but one of the things that I learned the hard way is if you have a very complicated stitch pattern, like the virus, you know, it's very, very elaborate and so forth. You know, or you know, just something with a lot of like elaborate stitching going on. You want to be careful as to what colorway you use, because if you have a colorway that is like really bright and vibrant and all over the place, it's going to take away from the pattern. You know, like the colorway that you had, I think it totally worked because the colors were more muted.
Yeah, and that's what
They were more like watercolor. But
Yeah.
I mean, if they were like really, really, really vibrant, it might take away from your focus on the stitching, like losing the trees for the forest kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like the more complicated the stitch, I think the more muted the colors should be, or the more simple the colors should be, like a solid colorway or more muted color palette. But if you have like a really simple pattern, you know, where it's just like all double crochets, it's nothing wrong with that. But then you could let the colorway of the yarn do the talking. But if they're both screaming for attention, you end up with like a din of stuff that you can't understand. Like you can't, you know, hear the conversation because they're both yelling for attention. So I think that if you've got a good balance going on, then the piece itself has more harmony to it.
now I know I asked Russ this when I first started, but
I don't have a written
you
pattern for the kaleidoscope. I'm sorry, Francis. Sorry to interrupt.
no, you're good. But have you ever done a project where you almost had it done and then you realized you made a mistake and you had to redo it over?
How can I say this
Yes.
emphatically enough?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have. Number of times, yes, I most certainly have. I started projects that I'd been working on for weeks, if not months, and for whatever reason, whether I made a mistake or I just didn't like how it was turning out, or I wanted to recycle the yarn. Yeah, I have. I've undone entire projects.
I know I asked Russ that too, so
No, it's a
know.
totally fair
Yeah.
question. And you know what? Yeah, sacrifice is part of the beast. You know,
and
it's
I
not
know
like,
yeah,
what's
and
that,
I
Russ?
know I'll be probably having my fair share of when I'm starting to do projects like that where I'll have to take it down because it's going to be something that I don't like.
Yeah, and I learned when I was started knitting, I would get halfway and then I would tear it apart.
Yeah. Well, also like with
And it's
knitting,
harder
especially
knitting.
lifelines with knitting are your best friend.
Yes.
Because when
I
I
learned
first
that the
started,
hard
I
way
didn't know
too.
about lifelines, and I made a mistake, and I didn't know how to fix it, so I just tear out the whole thing, and I was crying like the whole time. Um, you know, the devastation. So yeah, knitting lifelines are your best friend. Um,
Yeah,
also, what
crocheting
what's that?
is crocheting it's so much easier to like frog back stuff on certain things.
If you're using a forgiving yarn,
Yes.
because there are two yarns. I mean, I love Lion Brand to death. I do. And it's like specifically the Mandala, the Ice Cream Big Scoops, and the Pound of Love. I love those yarns, especially because they kick butt on the yardage. But two yarns of theirs, I love the look. I love the gorgeousness of them, but they are such a beast to work with. And I've tried and I've kicked myself every time. Shawl and a Ball and Homespun, because both of those yarns, they have such a gorgeous texture and such a gorgeous look. I love them to death, but frogging them is next to impossible. And the
Yeah,
reason
I
why is
know
because what's that?
Craig was showing some universal yarn, and I had to tear out some of that stuff, and oh geez,
Yeah,
it,
because
it did not play nice.
no, the problem with those two yarns specifically is that both of those yarns have a halo of this fibrous foof around it. And as you're stitching, those fibers in the foof, they get locked together.
They do.
You know, it's like Velcro, how like you got the teeth and the fuzz and they go, you know. So as you're
Yep.
stitching, you're locking those fibers together. And then when you're trying to frog out your stitches, it's like, yeah, now
Doesn't want to go.
we've been chemically bonded. We're not going anywhere. And so it can be the biggest headache in the world. I mean, and as much as I do love the look and the feel and the colorways of those yarns, I really don't use them much at all because the frustration can be devastating. And I have enough things in my life that are frustratingly devastating. I don't need even more onto the list.
Yeah,
So there are just
because
a few things for you to be aware of.
yeah, because I asked my wife, I was like, have you ever gotten done with a project that you're working on and you decided that it wasn't your likings and you had and she's like, oh yeah, she's had that happen to her
Yep.
quite a few times.
It's just the nature of the beast.
That you don't like the stitch, or you don't like the color, or you can see where you've made.
Oh, it's
like,
not the
little
colors, because
boo-boos.
the colors that she orders and she picks out, absolutely remarkable. I mean, I love the colors. I think it's just the pattern that she does. I think it's she doesn't like it after she gets done, and then she'll rip it apart, and then she'll start again with the same colors uh until she gets a pattern that she likes.
Oh, and really quick, let me pop in here because somebody asked me about an Omni hook. Omni hook? Omni? I know they have them on like Amazon. Somebody asked them if what?
He's brought up the listing for them.
Oh,
I think.
the Omni.
How much are they on Amazon?
I think they're like $7-8 a piece.
It's not bad.
These are $8.95.
That's not terrible. If it's a good hook, that's not terrible.
I
I
didn't.
wanted to buy the whole set, but they don't have the 3.5. They don't have the 3.75. They have the 4mm, the 4.5, the 5, the 5.5, the 6, 6.5, 7, 8, no 9, and a 10.
Russ,
And I didn't care
Russ.
for.
It's playing just for you. It's playing our song, Russ.
You want a little cheese with that wine?
Here's the thing. Do you want my money or not?
Hey, I can never say no to money.
Well, obviously these people are, because they don't have what I want.
Well,
I used
somebody had written in the comments section in the chat. Russ popped it up. I'm sorry. The waffle hat. It can be a little bit tricky and fiddly, but keep at it. It's worth it, because once you get past the hump of the increasing, the waffle hat, it's a great project. You just gotta keep at it, and rewind, pause, hit those timestamps, because it is worth it. I mean, also you can change if it's not fitting properly, you can change the beginning number of double crochets that you start off with if the size isn't working out for you. But don't give up. Persevere. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. I wanted to respond to that comment. I'm sorry.
Well, so I remember that guy, someone commenting about those hooks, and I did the same thing. But I tend to like the metal hooks, because they slide easier.
Baitser boy. I can't see what that is. What is that? It looks what? I can't see what that says. Okay, yeah, but what is it?
It's a furls.
Is it an eye?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a furls. It's a furls streamline.
They do not do it for me.
I don't like streamline.
I've tried them.
Because do you are a knife holder? I can't remember. I know I've seen you doing. Are you a knife holder or are you a pencil holder?
I am a knife holder.
I pencil.
Because
Yeah.
I mean these. Just because I have the caveman hands.
Oh.
These, like, they just feel better in my hand. I like the zings too.
Well, I mean, this has a really nice ergonomic grip to it, and I mean, I love these to death. These are my Letos, and I use them exclusively, just about, unless if I'm doing Tunisian. If I need a lot of stitches on my hook at a given time, really, really can't get a lot of stitches on here because of the ergonomic flaring out of the hook. But these, bar none, these are the best that I've ever used. Also, they are not cheap. I will be the first to say it. I've said it before when I did my review on them, but I love these. These are really, really good.
Karen, I don't think any of us have used the pom-pom hat yarn from Michaels.
Nope.
Because I learned a few years ago about the pom-pom yarn. They had the little balls of yarn, and then it had a little yarn between them, and then another little ball. And
it's sort of like the interior around a car back in the 70s, like around the windows. Those little pumps.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me think of. No, I would never use that stuff.
The knitting needles that I like to use. So I do like clover, because I do have a set of clover.
Clovers are good.
Then Takumi, I have a set of Takumis. And then I've got Chowgu. Then I have Chowgu. Then I have Likey. Then I also have Addie. I have like 3 sets of Addie because Craig gave me one for Christmas. I believe it was the olive wood. Kevin bought me the squares, the cubics from Addie, and I bought the Turbo Addie, and I have I believe I have all of the knitting sets from Chowgu. I have the little itty bitty shorts, and I even have their Forte set, which is all stainless steel.
Chowgus are, I would say, to this day, right now, at the present time, I think Chowgus are definitely my favorite. I started with the just like regular like straights, and then when I discovered circulars, I started in with the Clover Takumis because they were available at Michael's, and then from there I went into Addie. And then from Addie, I finally ended up with the Chowgus, which are now my current favorites. Definitely.
So I also have knit picks. I do have knit picks, and I also have oh shoot, what are them called?
I think I had a small set of knit picks, but I really wasn't that like wowed with them. Because I think the ones that I had were made out of plastic, and I'm like, ah!
No, I these were the ones I started off with the straights, like the straight needles, and then I went to like these, and I still have a few of these. I don't mind them; they're wood.
I
But
prefer wood.
I just couldn't. The thing that frustrated me was the cords. The cables were just horrible.
Yeah.
Because they have a memory, and they get all like funky.
Yep.
And
That's why you go.
It just drove me bananas.
Chowgu has no memory.
Exactly.
Chowgus are really great with the cords,
and they're swivel.
You go from this, like, to a Chowgu set, and it's like it's night and day.
Yep.
My knitting got a lot better because I wasn't fighting that cord all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like wood and I use metal. I refuse to use plastic. I refuse.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
I work in plastic all day long. I don't want to hold plastic when I get home.
No, and as far as crochet hooks, I don't care for the plastic hooks either.
Craig,
they make noise and they
What was the name of that company? Leto?
Yeah, Letto. It's Leto Workshop.
Okay,
those are the hooks.
Give me one second.
Yeah.
I got to get back in here.
Yeah, Leto Workshop. They were on Etsy. They are located in Ukraine. And so their Etsy store was closed for a long time because of the rather havoc turmoil that is going on over there. But
how do you spell their name?
Letto Workshop. Yeah, they were going through hell for a long time. I mean, they're still not having a good time, but they got in touch with me not that long ago, and they're like, "Yes, we're back in business," but they're not in business on Etsy anymore. Now they have their own website, and their hooks are just as good as they ever were, and I absolutely love their hooks.
I was looking at them. I wanted to try them, but I kind of hesitate on the wooden. I mean, I like to feel like on the metal ones the way they slide.
These are smooth. Okay, there's no like grip. It's not like like with like the bamboo knitting needles, like the Takumis, how there is
have a little like friction.
Right. There's no friction because these are polished. Yes, these are not like unfinished wood. Oh no, 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 no. They are finished. They are very finished. They're very, very slick. They're smooth. They're gorgeous. If I didn't think so, I certainly wouldn't be using them for this length of time. Trust me on that one.
And they're comfortable. Like I have bigger hands.
Yeah,
Like
I gathered that you said you got the big dude hands. I know.
I got the big dude hands.
You know, big hands, big heart. I'm sure.
Exactly.
You know, and you know me. I know. I got little dainty hands. You know, it's like what was that thing from Austin Powers? You know, circus folk, small hens smell like
Small
cabbage. You know. It's like, yes, I have
Don't worry.
little hands. I've got little wrists.
Don't worry,
Russ,
I
are
got
you
small
okay?
hands too.
You know, I got little hands. What can I say? But
mine don't smell like cabbage. They smell like corn chips.
I'm sure.
Where did that come from?
Let's leave that one alone. But no, they are very, very, very comfortable, and they have a bunch of different styles. You know, so I would say, and also they do have a wide range of prices as well. They're not all exorbitantly expensive. Like they have some, like the lower end, I think they're like maybe like $20. And then they have more expensive ones for like, $60, $70. But that's if like the more complex they are, like for instance, like this one, I mean, this is a lot of work because this is two kinds of wood that are, formed together in a really, really awesome way, and everything is hand turned, and
those are beautiful.
It's really smooth. I mean, you can see the shine in the reflection of the light.
That's really
these
cool.
are very, very smooth, and I've never had any issues with these whatsoever. So it really depends on what your price point is like. How far you want to go with that.
Robin,
they also have ones where it's a metal hook in a wooden handle. So if you really like the metal hooks, they can make accommodations in that way.
Wow.
Robin, you're gonna love that box of scrumptious from Aberdeen. I should be getting my scrumptious box next week. Can't wait. It's awesome yarn, I'm telling you. Russ, you started a story about the pom-pom yarn, and I'm curious to hear it. I'm not fond of. I tried it. So what you do, you have this little ball of yarn, and then you have this little yarn in between. Then there's another little ball of yarn. Then you have yarn in between, and you're supposed to create your stitch in between those two little balls of yarn. And it's like, not for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same thing with like color pooling, because you're playing like yarn chicken with the colorway, and you're like trying to manipulate your tension as you go so that the colors do a certain thing.
Not for me. Jojo, Aberdeen's has $15 flat shipping. So if you're under $150, it's $15 to ship your order.
Are they still like? I'm sorry, this might be a stupid question. Is Aberdeen still in business?
Yes.
Like I know that they were like on the fence.
Yes,
so they're good now.
They were on the fence, and they were they had enough push to sell enough stuff to stay open.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who gave them that push.
Well, wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean by push? I'm just trying to clarify.
Push their boxes, push their product, yada, yada, yada.
Bought their yarn, a lot of it.
Well, I mean, because I know that you had that really big order did you ever get it, or did you ever hear from them?
So she was getting ready to ship it out. My order is done. They have my
Oh, good
order,
for you.
but it's not shipped yet because I begged her to do me a favor. She didn't want to do it, but I begged and begged and begged her to do it. I can't tell you now.
Bait and switch much?
That's what I was catching.
Yeah.
Because it's a surprise.
You know, it's like, oh, I got something.
But yeah, but then it's like I got something, but you guys are just gonna have to wait until I do my next video.
Okay. Did any of you see the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the Ghost of Christmas Present? I
Yep.
know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. What's your shot?
You know,
Oh,
just
poor Frank. Oh, poor
Yeah.
Frank.
you know, just for that, I ain't gonna tell you now.
I'll bribe the supervisor with a nice big cod.
Yeah, good luck with that, because she's up there sleeping on top of a box.
You know, a nice big red herring. I'll be like, here, kitty.
No, I think the red herring's already been thrown out. And I have to say, Craig, you brought me back to my childhood.
Well, I was a total movie geek, and I still am to an extent.
Oh no! This was a book geek thing.
I'm sorry?
The book that you're reading on your channel.
Which one?
The one.
Patchwork Girl?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant something about when he said, "I'll throw her a flounder." I thought that was taking you back to your childhood.
No, whatever works.
No,
if you guys are happy, I'm happy.
The cod thing was definitely childhood. But the patchwork girl, that I remember one of my teachers when I was very young read that story in class, and it wasn't until we were listening, Becky was listening to you reading it, and it went ping, and it was completely had like this. I started smiling and had like a little moment.
Oh,
I recognized the book, and it brought me back to when I was a kid. So that was very cool.
well, I'm delighted because I mean I know that they're not as popular as the crocheting videos, but I like variety.
And even the cooking videos, those are the best.
Thank you. Actually, I would really like to do some this weekend. I'd like to do some pre-records this weekend because I'm going to have the kitchen to myself. I don't have a backseat sous chef, saying, use that bowl. Why are you using that spatula?
Ray, I do not have any of the dragonfly color. Let's see. Russ, I placed my second order of Aberdeen's minis and now have X number of tangles. I guess those are points. Tangle. Oh, so you every time that you place an order with Aberdeen's, you get what's called tangled points.
That sounds cute.
Then you I think you can use like $10 of them every time you place an order. So you can take $10 or whatever off your bill. I don't ever remember to use them. I think I got like 100,000 points or something like that.
That would not surprise me. Yeah, so actually I was thinking about perhaps doing some sort of a cooking video or two this weekend since I'm going to have the kitchen to my lonesome. I've been working with masa harina a lot lately.
Bring it.
What
are you making?
What's that?
What are you making? Tamales?
Well, I've been making my own tortillas. It's a lot easier to make tortillas with masa harina than like a wheat flour, let me tell you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. It's like,
do you have the press?
yep.
A metal
Yeah.
one?
Well,
or a
I don't
wooden
have a
one?
metal one. I've got a wooden one.
That's what Rebecca uses too, as a wooden one. But
And
he makes them by hand too. So like,
well, because the thing is, it's like when you're working with like like an all-purpose flour dough, it's like silly putty. It's just like, you flatten it out, goes, you flatten it out. But with the masa harina, it's like Play-Doh, where you flatten it out, it just stays there.
Go potty.
But there's no
Right.
elasticity to it. So it's like you have to be really careful because they're very fragile, because it's like, no, there's no stretch. You pull, it rips. When you cook it, it's fine. But prior to that, you got to be very careful. And last night, I'm really proud of myself because last night I made pupusas for the first time.
oh wow.
And I think that they came out not bad, because I was looking for other recipes to use with masa harina, which, for those of you that don't know, it is basically a processed like cornmeal flour where all you do is pretty much just add a little bit of salt and some water, and you have the dough that you need. Happy birthday, Carson!
Happy birthday,
Um,
Carson.
Happy
you have this
birthday.
really great dough that you can make tortillas out of, and there are other recipes as well. But I'm an enthusiastic novice. I'm still learning stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
there's like they make tamales out of it. They make tortillas out of it. They do all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah.
The tamales
And
are a work of love. That's a lot of work.
I'm going to have to look into that. But today alone, I made a loaf of sourdough bread because I made the dough last night and then it fermented overnight. And then I actually baked the bread today. And then with a regular dry active yeast bread dough, I made pizzas from scratch this evening.
Oh, yeah.
And so, because I had to replenish my stock in the freezer, because I like to have a couple of pizzas worth of, in the freezer, because it's the easiest, quickest possible thing that I can do. But I've been experimenting a lot in the kitchen and having a lot of fun.
Well, Carson, whatever you and your partner does, I hope it's a wonderful time. He said something about spending it with his partner, so that's nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, good for you, Carson. Enjoy.
And I am 2 years older than you are, Carson. And Matt is 10 years older than me.
No. Well, maybe in maturity, but not chronologically.
Yeah, I am.
I think it was
Thank
10.
you for the compliment, Craig. But yes,
You're welcome.
I think it was 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I'm
53. I'm It's not 20 years, is it?
No, it's not 20.
I was going to say.
If you're 53, I have you by 7 years.
Okay, so it's not 10.
Shut
It's
the front door.
Yeah.
I don't have a front door. I have a back
in
door.
August, I turned the big 6-0.
He don't look like he's gonna be 6-0.
No,
I already am. I'm going to be 61 next August. But I appreciate it.
Sure.
It's because of the fat. It keeps out the wrinkles.
The perfect. So since you're going to be 61 next year in August,
Yeah,
I think you should get 61 hanks of Malabrigo.
I think I should too.
And no, you said fat. No, it's fluffy.
Yeah,
It's fluffy.
it's like the comedian in I can't think of what his name is.
Yes,
but he always
he's fluffy.
It's fluffy.
He always says, "I'm not fat, I'm fluffy."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fluffy.
And trust me, with all the cooking and all the baking that I've been doing, I've been developing my own fluffiness. Trust me.
Oh, like just in our house, there's Portuguese, Italian, Puerto Rican, and Mexican.
And why haven't you sent me nothing, no goodies?
So between, all of that, it's not like we don't eat real good.
Well, it's like with me, it's like, German and Irish. It's like, if you don't like potatoes, you're screwed.
Exactly.
And I love potatoes, so I'm fine.
I love potatoes too, but the only potatoes that I would probably eat a lot of is either McDonald's French fries or herb and garlic mashed potatoes.
Okay, I'll give you that on the mashed potatoes, but no. McDonald's, those aren't potatoes. They are those are pinos. Pinos, potatoes in name only. Those are not potatoes. There's nothing potato about them. They've been like
Are they a
reconstituted, and regurgitated and refabricated. No. McDonald's is not actually food. There's nothing nutritious or even delicious about any of them. If you eat there's so much sodium. By the time you get to your car, your ankles have swollen to twice the size.
I know, but
So has my waist. What's your
I
point?
gotta treat myself every once in a while.
To what? Formaldehyde? And arsenic? No. I made a huge boo-boo, but it was a valuable learning lesson. Out of morbid curiosity and laziness and some sort of yen craving for punishment, I guess, I got Taco Bell the other night. And I repeat, it was a disaster. Everything was like soaking wet. Like it had been like steaming in its own wrapper for God knows how long. Everything fell apart as soon as I opened it. It was horrendous. And it was $20. Whatever happened to it being cheap, right?
Wow.
I was so disappointed. I'm like, oh, I'm breaking out the masa. I'm just for a fraction of the price, I can do so much more.
But when it comes to potatoes, if anybody makes me the garlic and butter or the herb and garlic mashed potatoes, man, let me tell you something. You make a big bowl, I'll have it gone.
You know what's really great? If you use, I think I've done this before, instant mashed potatoes with some flour to make gnocchi.
Ooh.
It saves you so much time and effort making mashed potatoes. It's like, no. That, some water, some flour, boom, gnocchi.
I might just have to try that.
I make my potatoes in the Instant Pot.
Of course you do.
Because 10 minutes and they're done. I have mashed potatoes in 10 minutes.
Nah, in the Instapot, you put a couple of strips of bacon in the bottom. You take like a shank bone and put that.
I'm sorry, a what bone?
A shank bone, like a cow, like a shank. Like
okay,
it's like the bone with the marrow in it. And you put that in the bottom. You put like a roast on top of that, and then you fill it about halfway with wine and let it go. Wine, garlic, allspice, and peppercorns, and let that go for a little while.
And what was the meat that you used in that?
You can use like beef rump roast, or you can use like a sirloin, like any kind of a.
Well, that roast is going to get sauced.
Yeah.
My God, all that wine.
Yeah, it's called. It's. I want to look up the recipe for it. It's called alcatra. It's a Portuguese dish.
Matt.
Yeah.
What nationality is Mama?
She is Puerto Rican and Mexican.
Got it.
And then I'm Italian and Portuguese.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah. Most people do.
Although, oh, what
So
is
when,
that? There,
so
wa-
when,
there
Ra-
was.
so when Craig said about the cod, I was like, "Don't give the cat the cod. I'll take it." Because that's a big Portuguese thing. Is the codfish?
Well, it's like when as soon as he said that about the fish, you're like, oh well, that brings me back to my childhood, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking a fish.
Well, we always had a lot of seafood in the house. Um, but the book, he was reading the book, and there was a certain passage where they're walking up to this gate, and they have to close their eyes to walk through the gate. And I wasn't Rebecca was watching it, and I was just kind of half-heartedly listening to it, and I heard that, and it went
Ping.
ping, because I never knew like from the time I was, when my teacher had read it, I couldn't remember the name of that book. And when Craig read that part, it went click, and I'm like, that's it. I know.
Sometimes it happens like that. Now, did you ever see the movie?
No.
It's creepy. It's actually creepy. It was a silent film back in like I think the 20s or the 30s,
Oh.
and so of course it was silent. It was in black and white, um, and peanut butter and jelly M&Ms.
I want to try.
Oh,
I want to try those.
you can have my share. Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
if you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, add
not
chocolate.
especially.
Add chocolate to that, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
No, Nutella.
Yes. If it was Nutella,
Nutella.
I'd be all over it.
Exactly. Give me Nutella. We'll do business. We'll do
I,
lunch.
you know what?
I
I tried Nutella and jelly one time, and yeah, came to find out. I mean, I know it doesn't taste like peanut butter, but it 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 was good.
Well, hazelnut is so much richer. It's so much
Mhm.
more decadent. Like I love hazelnut coffee.
Isn't it
It is
supposed
one
to
of
be
my
a lot more
favorites.
healthier too?
Is it?
Nutella crepes. Oh.
Ooh, don't get me started. I love crepes.
yes, Carson, I had a sausage sandwich, and I had potato salad.
I really want to make my orange marmalade again pretty soon. I haven't made that in ages. But what were we talking about?
What book movie are we talking about?
Oh, right. Thank you. Yeah, the movie, The Patchwork Girl of Oz, it was a silent movie, black and white. And the thing is that because it was silent, like all of the expressions on the characters had to be like overemphasized, which kind
That'd
of
be
gave it
creepy.
like a very surreal and creepy quality because also it's in black and white. And the thing is that the Patchwork Girl is like the stuff of nightmares.
Mhm.
Um, because it's a guy with a lot of like clown makeup on his face. And the reason why it was a guy is because he was, I think, a circus performer or a gymnast, and he did like all of these acrobatics. And because he's supposed to be filled with stuffing, he's like very liquid and like bouncing all over the place. And, it's a little unnerving. And the woozy is very angular. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, uh, um, picture like an animal made out of blocks that are all joined together, and like the mouth has like a hinge, and it's crazy looking. It reminds me of the cake from the Little Rascals.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about? That cake with all
Yep.
like the weird things baked inside of it. It's sort of like if they took that cake and made it into like a giant dog, you got the woozy. Um, but yeah, that was a weird movie. And Ojo was played by a young woman, actually. if I'm not mistaken. So there was a lot of actor character gender swapping. Sometimes it works.
One of my favorite books when I was a kid was Watership Down.
You had a dark childhood.
What? Watership Down. That's a good book.
Okay, but
Oh,
wait. General Woundwort, or like the Odyssey equivalent to the Lotus Eaters, where they're all in this daze because they just get fed, but they run into snares and they don't think anything of it. Like, oh, he'll be fine.
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
the
that
rabbits were living in Nazi Germany, for crying out loud. It was horrific. Did you ever see the movie
Yes, I saw the movie.
with John Hurt as Hazel? I mean, that there was
Yeah.
like General Woundwort was like foaming at the mouth and bleeding all over the place. And I have to tell parents, I'm like, no. Your 7-year-old will have the need for therapy. Your child will need a therapist. The lights will have to remain on, and you'll have to do a lot of explaining later. Don't do it.
Yeah, I remember reading that. I remember reading that book when I was in like junior high. I read that.
Okay. But I'm talking like children should not be reading that.
No.
No.
Oh, that's all right. When I was growing up as a kid, I used to read a lot of Stephen King, Michael Crichton, James Patterson. You know, so
The first one I read of his was Carrie when I was, I think, 13.
yeah,
That's enough to scar anybody.
That was the very first book that I read too.
I think it was the first one they'd ever wrote, I think, as Stephen King anyway.
Yeah, mine were like Piers Anthony, Michael Moorcock, who else? Heimline. I was more into like the science fiction, fantasy kind
Terry
of.
Pratchett. I tried to get into Discworld. I tried desperately to get into Discworld. I was reading the first book and I'm like, I can't do this.
Good night,
Good night, Lorene.
Thank you for showing up. And
I got pretty far into, I think it was called The Color of Magic, and I tried so hard to enjoy it, but I'm like,
Good
this
night,
is becoming too
Lorraine.
laborious. So I gave it up. So I've been reading a really good book right now, actually, on my own time, not on the channel because I would get smacked with a copyright. This one. Well, that's why I picked the older books, because those are all public domain.
Those are all, public domain.
You know, I mean, the Oz books were written in the early 1900s. So I'm reading this right now, which is called Let Me In by John Ajvid Lindqvist. It's really good. If you like vampire books.
If you really like vampire books and like that whole kind of genre, look for, it's called The Necroscope, and it's
I haven't heard of that one.
It's by Brian Lumley.
I think I've heard of Lumley, but no, I haven't heard of The Necroscope. Let Me In.
Those are oh my gosh, those are awesome.
Okay.
The whole premise of it is really
thanks,
cool.
Lorraine. Talk to her, and you guys get back with me because I've got a lot of questions. I might even be able to give you guys a bunch of business.
I think that would be good. Yeah. Let Me In. Well, originally it was called Let the Right One In, and they made a movie based off of it, and it's in Swedish. And there's English dubbing if you want it, but it was a really good movie. And then they did sort of an Americanized remake of it. It was just called Let Me In. And then they retitled the book into Let Me In, so because they figured, oh, Let the Right One In, it's too long. No, it was fine, but what can you do? Basic premise in a nutshell. It's about a little girl that's not a little girl. And it's very quickly obvious that it is a vampire that looks like a little girl. And it takes place in, I want to say, like 1970s, 1980s Sweden. It's
Wow.
really good. But
Yeah,
if you are at all squeamish or, oh, there you go. If you're at all squeamish or sensitive to certain dark graphic subjects, I would not recommend it. But if things don't phase you, I would totally recommend Let Me In. So tell me about the necroscope.
well, it's kind of the first one. It's kind of a vampire spy novel.
Okay.
So
So wait. Would it be 00 negative?
oh, ooh, ooh.
I'm sorry. It just popped into my head. That was
No,
bad. That was like a
I
bad
thought it was
dad
good. That
joke.
was cool. So there's one guy who's Russian, and there's one guy who's British, and they're on separate paths, but in the end, they do this, and it's all about the journey, and it's a really good book. I highly recommend that one. And I want to say there's like 4 of them, 4 different books. Like there's a continuing series, but the first one is amazing.
Craig, have you ever read any Frida McFadden books?
That sounds familiar.
Russ, somehow you remind me of Elvis with the blanket on you. I've never seen Elvis in a blanket.
Well, no, he was always wearing those capes. But you said Frida McFadden?
That's what. Well, I'll let you read it. Okay, there you go. You read it.
Frida McFadden books.
That name sounds really familiar.
It sounds like it could be familiar, but it's not ringing the right bells offhand. I'm sorry for being dense, but maybe I'm just missing something.
Well, I don't even know who you guys are talking about, so.
Well, I'm not sure who this person is, but actually what I'm really excited about, I haven't watched it yet because my problem is I can't just like sit and watch something. I have to be doing something. So then I generally don't watch anything new because I have to be doing something. I have to keep my eyes on what I'm doing, but I like to have something on in the background. But it was a series for Interview with the Vampire. It's on Netflix right now. I've seen the Brad Pitt, Kirsten Dunst, Tom Cruise movie like a million times. I've read the book a bunch of times. Loved it. But I really want to see the series. I believe there's much more of like a French Creole influence with it, as opposed to in the Brad Pitt version of it. It looks really good, although I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Now, talking about movies,
Yes.
there is a movie that I saw, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I never thought I would wanted to watch it, but after I got done watching it, I was just like, wow. It is called Heaven is for Real. It is based on a true
Heard of it, but I
story.
haven't seen it.
Not so much want to steal it, Carson, but maybe blackmail a little bit.
What, my blanket?
Yeah.
Everybody wants your blanket. Oh, speaking of that, Russ, how is your new vehicle?
Really good.
Good.
Did you get another Equinox?
I did. but I got a upgrade.
What
So,
year?
2025
Oh, wow, brand new.
had 4 miles on it.
Wow.
Did you name it?
Yeah, get along, little doggy.
To compensate for your plethora of cats?
Um, so this one is all-wheel drive, and it has all the bells and the whistles. My last one was just front-wheel drive, and it didn't have anything. So it was just kind of like a basic car. But this one has all the bells and the whistles, and I can start the car from my phone. I can roll the windows down with my phone. I can unlock the car with my phone. I can lock it with my phone. I can
Just do yourself a favor. Don't lose your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do have a key fob that the key fob will roll down the windows. It'll roll the windows up. It does everything that my phone can do.
Does it also have a hole in the floor and you can yabba dabba do your way to work?
No,
I know the classics.
That was a good one.
but you could always come.
Well,
take
with
me to
Russ, it's
work.
always a gay old time.
Morning, Russ, from a cold, damp. Ooh, hi, Julie. So it's cold and damp there, eh? And boy, do I have an echo, and I don't know where it's coming. Oh, it's my vase. See, I
You all
don't
about the
have.
bass, about the bass, about the bass.
I was gonna go there, and I thought, no.
I said
Yeah,
vase.
let me go there. You know I have a very, very limited filter. You know this.
VASE, vase.
Yes, you're all about the bass. We know it.
Vase. But I don't
No
have
trouble.
I don't have all the boxes around me because we got it all cleaned up. But there's a vase in the corner, and it's echoing. It's sending my voice back. Freezing and foggy.
Sounds like the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Lisa said, "Gosh, Craig, I just spit out my water."
Louise,
Sorry.
Louise, but then
Well, because I
Lisa-
have to contain all like the little quips and snarkiness during the week when I'm at work because it would be frowned upon. And then this is where the little blue devil on the shoulder goes, "Hello."
Carmen, we got a little bit of rain, but not really a whole. Not like they did south of us.
Man, we got dumped on last night. We got dumped on.
It's been pretty nice here, except for the full moon. It's been pretty nice here. Because when the moon gets full, the freaks come out, and there's no denying that.
babe, answer Louise.
What? Answer
Hi,
Louise.
What? It's Louise. Hi, Matt. What color of rock and roll did you use on Melange? And did you use?
Welcome to the Golden Guys.
Good,
Did you use
yeah, like the Golden Girls, but this
Oh,
is the Golden
okay.
Guys.
Look muted.
Good night, Bernice. Thanks for stopping in.
So wait, who would be who then?
What?
Who would if we're the Golden Guys? Who would be who?
I'm. I gotta be. Sophia.
No, I was talking to Russ earlier. This is straight like Gilligan's Island.
But no, if we were the Golden Girls, who would be which one? And if somebody says I'm Rose,
I'm Sophia. No, Craig, you have to be Blanche.
What kind of aspersions are you casting upon my ladylikeness, bitch?
There's a welcome mat at the foot of your bed.
Yeah, well, there's a device next to yours that says, take a number.
No. I had to put
Now
I had to-
serving.
No, I had to put that down at the end of the street. That way they could be spaced out better. That's top of the notch thinking. See, that's Sophia thinking there.
Oh God, I would like. Now I'm having trouble. Was it Dorothy?
And Rose.
Well, no, I am not Rose. No,
No, you're
I think I'm more of
Blanche.
like Dorothy was B. Arthur, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a B. Arthur.
Now you're
Like,
more
with-
of a
with-
Blanche.
Greg said it looked muted.
Oh, yeah.
Mary, I am ready for fall.
Also,
I am ready for fall too.
Yes, but okay. Blanche was always single, but she always went out. I don't go out.
See, that's your problem.
Bitch. Pardon my language, peoples. My goodness, Russ is bringing out the bad in me.
Well, Karen says Matt would be Rose. So that
Well, you know
leaves-
what? At least you didn't say you were Sophia.
No, I'm Sophia. I'm the witty one.
Nah.
Oh, Russ, do you see that look that he's giving you?
I'll give you the evil eye.
No, I'm giving you the
was
stance.
Okay.
That
What
was a
is-
read between the lines moment.
Okay, let's see. Julie, what are you talking about, darling? It says, honestly, it's worse. It's like being in an old Hammer horror movie. Are you talking
I
about
love
your
Hammer
weather?
horror movies.
Are you talking about your weather, or what you talking about, darling?
Yeah, the Hammer horror movies, everything was very atmospheric. There was lightning, there was thunder, there was a baying dog, and somebody playing on a pipe organ somewhere. Everything was always very, very atmospheric. You're talking Peter Lorre and Vincent Price and Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, schlocky, bloody, cheesy special effects, terrible acting, sometimes, not all the time. Those were the good ones.
Just real quick.
Asylum, The House That Dripped Blood. What was that? What was that? Red Heart?
Louise asked me what color the shawl was.
Pretty.
The one that you said was muted, the virus shawl, and it was. This is what the color was. She wanted to know what color it was.
Well, it's gorgeous, honey. It's gorgeous.
Green room, and it's roll with it, melange green room.
That's cool.
It's very, very pretty.
Yeah.
What
I
size tape
cannot-
did I use?
Yes.
I cannot actually believe I boxed up 3 full totes of yarn to ship out.
A 6.
Tell her what kind of hook you use.
And Louise, I used a 6
Wait.
hook when I did it.
Kind of hook.
Because you got to make room for your new inventory when you get it.
Yeah,
It was
well,
it
now
was
I
a
get to go
pearl
yarn
hook
shopping.
when I did it.
See, the rule is if I empty 3 totes, I get to fill up 6 or 9.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't
Hey,
that how it's
Craig.
supposed to go?
Craig,
If
do you like
if
blue?
I empty 3 totes, I should be able to get 6 or 9 totes worth of yarn.
I'm sorry, what, Matt?
Do you like blue?
I'm more of a green, earthy tone, like rusts, browns, mustards. I mean, blue has its place. Yes, yes.
We were talking about yarn hauls earlier. Speaking of that kind of colors,
Hmm.
check that out.
Ooh, that is luscious. Makes me think of tomatoes, like vine tomatoes. And I love tomatoes.
Yeah, this one's really pretty. I'm gonna make a I'm making a scarf out of this one. And if you like the blue, this one, I've been stuck on this. I just have to make something out of it.
Let's see.
Is this?
That is very blue. Is that a solid?
It's up against the camera. It's like crazy blue.
Right. But no,
But
that is a solid, yes?
There's a little bit of like, you can kind of see there's like a little purple in it.
Okay. See, with that,
So it's purpley blue.
now do you only have the one skein of that?
No, I've got 5 skeins of that.
Okay, because I was going to say, it's like if you're limited on skeinage, I would say with that, I'm thinking like a textured cowl. That's kind of what speaks to me with that, because the texture won't be lost by the colorway, and it's very vibrant, and it would offset whatever sort of jacket you're wearing with it.
Yeah, and this one I'm actually picking up my knitting needles. I'm knitting a scarf with this.
Ooh. Any particular pattern in mind?
It's actually it's the seafarer's scarf.
Sounds familiar.
It's hang on.
See, I think that actually might look really good as a crocheted granite stitch.
Where is it?
If you want some really fresh tasting chocolate, order it from the Hershey's company.
Oh yeah.
It tastes so much better than buying it out of the store.
Oh yeah, because God knows how long it's been sitting at the store.
Exactly.
Well, you don't know how long it's sat in their warehouse.
Right.
You don't know how long it's sat, in the store's warehouse.
Hey, does that Hershey plant, do they still give tours?
Yes.
Yep.
Man, I knew when I was in Pennsylvania that one time, I knew I should have stopped at the Hershey factory.
Actually, in Pennsylvania or in the vicinity, you need perspective, Golden Age, go for it.
Let us have it.
Hit us up. There's I think it's in Lidditz, I think, Pennsylvania. And it's a chocolate company called Wilbur. Wilbur, oh my God. Such good chocolate. The whole town smells of chocolate. It's divine. They make Wilbur buds. They don't make like Hershey Kisses. They make Wilbur buds. It's sort of like the shape and size of a Mento. Like Mentos, the fresh maker. Size and shape of those, but they're chocolate. Oh, they're so good.
I've never heard
very good.
I've never
What?
heard of them.
Well, that's why I'm telling you. I'm sharing information.
Why don't you send me 5 pounds and let me try it out?
I haven't been there since I was like maybe 10. What do you want from me?
Go online and order me 5 pounds.
You got fingers? Clickety clackety over there. Go ahead.
I didn't know about it until today.
We're what 20 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes from a Ghirardelli outlet.
That I would be there all the time. That's a good ear doilies are good.
Bard's son-in-law works for Hershey's.
So Golden Age of Crochet. What was your query? Oh, here we go.
I would like to know,
I would like
what
to know what color
hooks.
hooks you guys. Acrylic handle hooks. What would you choose? Some sort of like a earthy green fall color. You know,
Yeah,
that's
I would,
usually my thing.
if you could have it swirled like the browns and the yellows and the reds and the oranges and the greens and all the fall colors like swirled in that handle, that would be top notch.
You just shoot for the moon, don't you?
Don't ask a question if you don't want to know the answer.
Well, I just like any sort of like earthy autumn fall colors.
Yes,
It's like I love green. Yeah, fall colors are awesome. It's like I love green, but not Kelly green. Kelly green is like the most unnatural green there is. It only exists in St. Patty's Day decor, and it drives me crazy. But like sage, olive, moss, those greens I groove on.
British racing green.
Oh, Carmen lives by the South Bend Chocolate Factory. Oh.
That sounds neat. I need to see British racing green because I don't know what that is specifically.
It's a darker green. That's like what they paint it's typically on the Jaguars. It's like a dark. It's like a dark.
It looks
like
kind of like a forest green type, but a little bit darker.
Just fluffy. MDL Crochet probably has a. He has everything Big Twist. I don't have anything Big Twist, but MDL probably has it.
I have a lot of Big Twist.
Okay,
I really don't have any. But like any sort of green, provided that it's not Kelly green. Even emerald green is better. Even chartreuse is better.
I understand. I can order Kelly green from the Hershey factory. I can get you a whole box of M&M's Kelly green. No other color, just Kelly green. Merry Christmas.
Hey, there's still M&Ms.
You guys are witnesses. He's just being vindictive.
Yes, he is.
With peanuts.
Here you go, Craig. This is the pattern that I was talking about.
Ooh, that is neat.
Yeah, it is.
That is very neat.
That was done in Noro.
I tried Noro and yeah. I tried it once, and for the price, I was so disappointed. I was so very disappointed because with Noro, the colorways, don't get me wrong, the colorways are gorgeous. But the problem that I had with the skeins that I had, there were so many cuts and knots in the skein that I had. Like the manufacturer was just like, oh, we'll just tie another one on. And then they did it again and again and again. In one skein, there was like maybe like 5 of them. And the colorway was totally like the flow of this like beautiful ombre was totally destroyed and broken up. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? It completely defeated the entire purpose. And for that price, no. I was so.
Was it one of the big balls of the Noro, or was it a regular skein?
I would say it was a regular skein, but even still, I was like, I paid that much for this. Like if I get like a solid color of yarn, okay, fine, I could totally deal with that. But if it's a very specific colorway ombre thing going on, it defeated the purpose entirely. I was so put off by that.
Golden, just any fall colors, darling.
Yeah, fall colors are the Jimmy Jam.
I would just stick with fall colors. And Fluffy, the yarn that Joanne launched that you could only get at the store is, I think, pretty much sold out. I don't know if they have. There's a couple of colors that.
Did you buy all of it again?
No, I didn't get down there to get any because you can't buy it online. You have to get at the store, and it's too far away. But
Because if the store is ever out of something, we know who to blame. You.
I'm just answering. I'm answering Fluffy's question. She said,
I know.
Joanne's
I'm
wants-
giving you a hard time. You should be used to it by now.
I am used to it, but I have to answer her question, and I keep getting interrupted. So, Fluffy, if your Joanne's don't have the new color, you're probably not going to find it because it sold out like hotcakes. You would almost think that they had a coupon on it. Okay, so I think I answered all the questions. The vamp yarn is impossible to find.
I think my wife's got a couple of skeins of that.
What do you got, Matt?
Oh, I was when we were talking about like monster movies and all of that. This is a goofy reason to buy some yarn, right? Well, there's never a goofy reason to buy yarn, but I had to buy this yarn
Ghidra.
just for the name.
That's
What is
Ghidra,
it?
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
Ghidra.
I've worked with that. Yes, Ghidra.
Because you know what that's from.
Godzilla.
Exactly.
See, I'm a geek. I know it.
I'm a huge Godzilla fan. So I saw this on the shelf and I went, ah. It's the only reason I bought it, it was because they had Mothra and then they had Ghidorah.
Well, but it was like, I keep getting that one line stuck in my head, please return our egg. Please. Come to Monster Island. Please return our egg. Those two little women. But yeah, I think I've worked with Mothra. I loved Groot. Groot was a great colorway, but I think ultimately Centaur is probably my favorite because it is such a lovely blend of those fall colors.
Yeah, listen, I know I watched you do a tutorial with that and you called it out and it's a pretty color. I thought it was a really pretty color.
I mean, I know that like my choice of colors is usually along those lines, and I try to mix it up every now and then by throwing in like a purple or a blue or something like that. I try not to be too redundant, but I know what I gravitate to. Can't help it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna.
Are you fading?
I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right.
Fiber Spider, it was a blast chatting with you.
Well, it was very nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, man.
Russ, I'm just letting you guys know I will be doing a live early next week. So if you guys have time, you guys are more than welcome to stop out and take a peek.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll probably be at work.
But if not,
when you say
it,
early next week, like when next early
like
next week?
Monday, Tuesday.
Gotcha.
Yes, I'll be work.
So,
well, thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. And Russ, I know if you can't make it, I know you'll be able to watch the replay of it.
Yep.
If you get a chance. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning.
You look tired.
Or yesterday. Well, I drive a taxi. So I get up early and I do about between 10 and 11 hours of driving. So
you put me to shame because I do like maybe 20 minutes total on a work day.
Yeah.
I drive an hour one way.
Yeah, mine's about the same. 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to work and then 10 to 15 minutes home.
Yeah, well, in a 1 day period, I probably put about 350 miles on a day.
Rob, I've got a I've got a 2020 and I haven't even put 10,000 miles on my car yet.
You don't do a lot of driving.
I am as local as a hermit that does it's like I do not go nowhere.
I have almost a
But
1,000 miles.
see,
on
I
mine.
don't use my vehicle. I use a company vehicle.
Right.
So,
But it still wears on you though. I give you credit for staying up this late.
well, I kind of stayed up this late because I know I didn't have to work in the morning. So,
There you go.
but even during the week too, I know I normally stay up until between 11 and 12. I know I shouldn't because I should just go to bed a lot earlier, but you know, if Russ is doing lives and stuff like that, if he's not working, I normally pop on or pop on his channel and just chit chat with him. So, hey Matt, I have been watching all of your videos that you've been doing. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Good night, Jen.
I appreciate it.
I just realized these stickers that she made me.
Yes.
It's not a paper sticker.
Oh. It's
a
like an
vinyl-
acrylic.
It's a vinyl sticker.
Oh, you go.
That is a
Aw,
vinyl sticker.
dang.
That's a vinyl, and I got a stack of them.
Put them on your car window.
I have a feeling that your town is going to be covered with the "It's Raining Yarn" tag.
Yeah.
I want to wear my new shirt.
I would too.
That shirt's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I'm probably going live sometime this week because I made a promise and I hit a goal. So I gotta come up live, and I've got a Stanley cake that I want to give away.
What was your goal?
Well, I went from 0. Now I'm at 252
subs.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
That is
We
really
all
good.
start from somewhere.
It's like when they tell you to lose weight, you do a little bit at a time. So I'm kind of gauging it on 0 to 250 to 500 to 1,000 to smaller increments instead of saying So I'm just a baby channel.
There is nothing at all wrong with that whatsoever because everybody at one point was a baby channel, okay? And as long as you keep at it, and I can tell you this from experience, as long as you keep at it and you keep doing you and you keep doing it the way you want to do it, and
I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, as long as it's going in, the good trajectory, then whatever it is that you're doing, just keep doing it. Even if it's a slow pace, as long as it's heading in the right direction, go for it. Be true to you, how you want to do it. You do you, boo. March to the beat of your own bongos, that whole thing. And you will get there. If you want to get there, you will get there. But ultimately, you have to do what works for you. Otherwise, it's pointless.
I finally
and I have to give credit where credit is due, because Russ was the one that got me to smash the button.
There you go. And what were you going to say, Russ?
I hit my 3,000.
Well, I congratulated you offline. So
congratulations.
I think I actually hit 3,100.
There you go. We have an owl in the house.
Is this the colorway you're talking about, Craig?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've worked with that one, but is that Groot?
No, this is Warlock Sorcerer.
Yeah, I'm like it because there's purple in that one. No, Groot looks more like a rustic fall orchard, like a rustic rainbow. You know, not like a psychedelic hippie rainbow, but like a rustic rainbow. That I believe is Groot.
What is this?
I did a cardigan in those colors.
Okay, I have
That's Centaur. Yeah, that's Centaur.
Yeah.
And
Groot has like a blue, an orange, a yellow, a brown, a green, but they're like very like rusticy kind of rainbow spectrum colors.
I love this Christmas yarn.
That's the one in the box, right? That you sent?
No,
No, it looks like it. Wait, no, that's got sparklies in it. Mine didn't have sparklies in it. No, you're right. I mean, mine was like a red, green, and white, but no sparklies. Oh, Rob left. Good night, Rob.
I think yours was a traditional Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I don't generally like sparkly yarn is because if the sparkly material is more of like an acrylic, like not like an acrylic, like almost like
Come here.
like almost like tinsel, like a metal. And if that gets brittle and snaps, it is the itchiest thing you could possibly imagine. It's always like itching you and scratching you. So I don't usually use sparkly yarns.
I'm not a fan of sparkly yarn either, but I ended up with 28 skeins of it, and I have no idea how.
Make it work.
There we go.
It's little fluffers.
There's our favorite CEO. That's our Tippy. That's our kitty. We're gonna go yarn shopping tonight, aren't we? She just told me yes.
I'm gonna go take a look at those hooks.
The Letos?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are my favorites. You know, and look around at the different styles and the different price points. Seriously, I've had, some of them I've had for like, I want to say 2 years, and yeah, they're wood, but I have not had any issues at all. There's no rough spots. Like the yarn does not snag on them at all. They're absolutely gorgeous. And the way that they get sent, even though they are coming all the way from Ukraine, they're very well packaged. You can check out the videos that I've done on them. It's on my vlog playlist.
I dug the pouch that they come in. That was really cool.
The attention to detail. The reason I did get a message from them that the reason why some of them were in like a really elaborate felt pouch and so forth, and then others were in like a fabric pouch with like a drawstring. The reason why is because they didn't have access to the same materials after a while. What can you do? And they're trying to still like give you the best that they can do with what they have to work with. So I can respect that,
Yeah.
And the way that they were packaged was totally fine as it is.
The package looked very old country.
Yeah.
Like it looked very like old country kind of thing, which is very cool.
What I do is I get organza bags, and I put my yarn in the organza bags, and then in each bag I put in cedar wood planks, and then I put the organza bags in a heavy tote, and I've not had any issues with moths or animals or bugs in my yarn.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps.
And out of the things that I had gotten this previous time from Leto, my mom loved the acorn needle case
That's
that
very
I had
cool.
gotten. She's like, oh, and I keep all of my yarn needles in here, and I haven't lost it yet. Absolutely love this because I have all of my yarn needles in there, and absolutely no issues whatsoever. And like, what was funny is that one of my mom's friends, she wanted to borrow one of my Letos because she was interested in buying, but she wanted to test one out first before making the purchase. And I said, listen, no. I do not loan out my Letos.
Out of my cold good hands.
Yeah, it's like, I can totally understand that they are not cheap and it is a bit of an investment. And
No, I mean it's like I always remember my grandfather, cheaper you buy, cheaper you get. And so when he was a welder, and so when he bought tools, he bought the best, either that he can afford or the best on the of what he liked, because he was using them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you buy tools that you don't like, you're not going to use them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not all, to be perfectly fair, it's not always 100% accurate, because in today's market, cheap doesn't mean garbage and price doesn't mean quality, unfortunately, because it's not like how it used to be, where if you bought like a quality thing, it meant no. Now you've got like name brand snobbery that goes on in certain areas where you end up paying a lot because it's a name brand, not because it's actually good quality.
Yeah.
But with the Leto hooks, like, they're a small business, but they're artisans and they do a really good job. That's why I don't mind spending whatever it is, because they are quality. They're enjoyable to look at, if nothing else, and they've served me well. And it's part of what I do for a living, so it makes sense to have good ones.
To have, yeah. It makes the job easier.
I mean, the furls, I know a lot of people really like them, but they just weren't for me, because the cut of the hook is much more like a Susan Bates, and that's not my Jimmy Jam. I'm more of a boy than a Bates as far as the cut of the hook.
Because the zings that I have are more like the clovers.
Mm-hmm. Like the Clover Amours, those I like. Those I really, really like.
Rebecca uses the Clover Soft Touch, I think, is the one the gold ones. Like, it's the Soft Touch. It's like a gold hook, and then it has like a beige kind of plastic, like, handle.
Yes, I know those. Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, the handles on those seems kind of like angular, almost like a toothbrush.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with the Letos, I mean, even though at the base of it, there's like, it's almost like a bedpost. Sorry. But it's like, yeah, this is like very ornate and elaborate. But the thing is, your hand is never all the way like down there. You're never gripping that down there. For me, it's just up here, where you have like this sort of bulb, if you will, and it's always served me well. But I digress. I know I've been gushing about Letos all night, but I do love them. I can't help it.
Well, you were gushing. I watched the video you did on them, and you were gushing then at getting them.
Well, because I mean, I was concerned about them for 2 years, and then finally I heard from them, and I'm like, they're back. They remembered me.
Don't you? have a purple one. It's like a purple.
Do I have a purple one?
Yeah, there's like a purple, like a purplish wood. Like it could be like what is it? Heart, no,
Heartwood?
purple heart.
I think maybe you mean this one. Like this bit right here, the sort of collar, if you will,
Yeah,
is sort of purplish. Yeah. I mean, my lighting in here is awful. I'll be the first to say. But yeah, this has sort of like a purplish tinge to it. But this is my 6mm, my J. I always try to keep the hooks in the ball that I'm working with so I don't lose
that's what
track.
I do. The same thing. Yeah, these are the ones that. Yeah, these are the ones that like.
I can't see, Raz. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, these are the ones.
Yes, I've seen those. Yeah, the handle reminds me of a toothbrush.
Yeah, but these are they're just too.
They're smooth.
But these are the ones. These are the ones that Rebecca uses.
Yeah, I mean those are like a
She really likes
like
them.
a boy shape hook.
But I also have the Amore.
The Amores I like.
Yeah. Where are you? Same.
Yeah, I like the handles on the Amores better than the gold ones.
Yeah, I have both.
Yeah. So, and I have like some of the furls and the zings. I like the zings.
I don't have a moderator in here, and I'm trying to get this lady's channel opposed.
People are always talking about hooks,
Yeah.
and I'm over here just using the same boy thing.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
There is I mean, also, yes, we keep going on and on about like these different hooks and things. Yeah, but like the hook doesn't make the project. I mean, okay, yes, technically the hook makes the project in a sense, but no, you are the one making the project. You're the one moving the hook. I mean, when I first started, I was like between baits and boy, and then I realized that I was more comfortable using boy, and then I used those for many years. In my earlier videos, that's all I used. If you go back to my early videos, yeah, I used those a lot. But no, once you realize that, like, yes, crocheting is for me, well then, yeah, dip out, expand, have fun, it's like you don't use the same yarn over and over and over again. No, you like to splash out a bit. It keeps things interesting.
See, I picked my hooks. I play guitar, so I picked them for feel, like just like you different brands of guitars have different feels to them,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, I equate the hooks the same way. There's a different feel to each one, and you have to find the one that's comfortable to you.
I feel like we're talking about Ollivanders here. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Ollivanders.
Yes. Harry Potter. The wand shop.
The wand shop.
Yes.
It took a second for it to dawn on. Yeah.
That's okay.
It was like, oh.
I mean, I absolutely love John Hurt, so he was perfect for that role.
Yeah, every book I know, almost every book that I really liked that has gone to a movie, it's like no. That's like no. That's not as it's not it no.
What? I'm sorry, I missed something. What?
No, I was talking about that. Like a lot, there's been books that I've read that I really, really liked that have gone to movies, and the
Uh-huh.
movies have just been cock-a-doo-doo.
Well, I mean, the adaptation, I think,
like
from
it's like
book to movie with the Sorcerer's Stone, I thought that wasn't bad.
no, the Harry Potter ones were pretty decent.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings was pretty decent.
The Hobbit was doo-doo.
I didn't see the I didn't see the Hobbit one.
Don't, because they took a book that was one book and they turned it into 3 movies for a money grab. They should be ashamed of themselves. It was atrocious, bad thing that they decided to do. Bad. Because the original book was great. I've read it a bunch of times, but what they decided to do, it was a total money grab, and they should be ashamed of themselves. And so say I. But I think the only gripe that I had with the adaptation of the book to the movie with the Sorcerer's Stone, first Harry Potter, was that the different tests at the very end when they were trying to get to the stone, like there was one in the book where Hermione had to use, it was a logic problem with the different vials, the different potions. It's like you drink this one, you don't drink this one because this one, da.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the movie at all. It's like Ron, he got to have the whole chess thing going on, but Hermione didn't have a chance to shine. Why? Yes, I'm geeking out. I know. I'm sorry.
That's
I do
okay.
that.
I have family that are huge Harry Potter fans.
Well, you ask them, what they think about my gripe there. But I mean, Alan Rickman, he was perfect as Snape in every which way. He was absolutely perfect. I mean, the actors to the characters, I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, Maggie Smith as McGonagall, perfect. Severe, yet, she had a maternal sternness, but it's still maternal. Like, I care about you. Get out of my face. She was perfect for that. She was.
See, and my favorite voice of all the villains passed away. So
yeah, he did.
That guy,
The old guy.
Darth Vader.
Oh, James Earl Jones. Well, I thought you were gonna. I thought. Well, he wasn't in Harry Potter.
No, I was talking about
in general.
Like.
Okay, because I'm like, who was James Earl Jones in the Harry Potter series?
He was the Darth Vader, the voice of Darth Vader.
Well, because when my mom told me that Darth Vader died, I'm like, okay, wait, do you mean the actor or the voice? Because I mean, that's 2 completely different things.
2 completely different things.
Because there was the actor, and then there was the voice that did. It's like, okay, which person are we talking about here? And then she told me, I'm like, oh, that's a shame. I mean, he had the most beautiful diction.
Yes.
And the most eloquent of voices. I mean, it's right up there with so many other greats, like, Alec Guinness or, oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Morgan Freeman,
I saw
Ian McKellen.
I saw this picture of Morgan Freeman, and it had like a caption on it, and it's Morgan Freeman. He's got this big smile on his face, and it said, the caption was, "You're reading this in my voice."
That's a good one. No, I mean, there's certain, celebrities or actors or whatever that just have the perfect voice for whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
Now,
Sam Elliott.
Are you familiar with Neil Gaiman? Author? Yes, he's an author. Oh, he wrote some great books. Coraline, Neverwhere, American Gods, Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Karen, yes, I am giving.
I know I've heard of Good Omens.
Yeah. He wrote that with Terry Pratchett. But no, he wrote some really, really good stuff. And the thing is that he's done audiobooks of he's done the narration of his own books when he did the audiobooks. He has the most luscious English accent, and he knows where certain things in the book are supposed to be, emphasized, or the inflection, or whatever, because he wrote it, so he would know. So, I mean, he's a perfect person to do the narration for it. And I've listened to several of his works, and the man sends me. Seriously, it's like he could read the telephone book, and I'm like, give me the next street.
I use a baby white unscented. It's just, and she loves it.
And what's
She
his
just-
name again?
She'll just lay here and let me wipe her down. I get her feet, her belly.
She's
She loves
kooky.
it. She'll even let me wipe her face down.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
What was the name of the author?
Neil Gaiman. It's Neilgaiman. He's a great author of it's predominantly like a fantasy oriented genre that he writes, but it's like fantasy in a real world. It's usually not like a completely fantastic like type world. It's like, there's fantastic elements in a real world.
Real world. Right on.
And he does such a wonderful job. If anything, I would say start off with either Coraline, or like Coraline is more juvenile, but it has some pretty creepy elements to it. So either Coraline or Neverwhere.
Neverwhere, babe.
Yes, Neverwhere.
Have you ever
You did the what?
watched BookTube,
You
Craig?
did the Sandman?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you
You
ever
did the Sandman?
No, you're
watched-
both trying to ask me something at the same time.
Have you ever watched BookTube?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Ambi Crafts was asking.
I haven't heard of BookTube.
See, she'll let me wipe her face. She loves it.
Kooky little monster. What were you saying, Matt?
Sandman.
He wrote that. Yeah,
Yes, I know. Daddy, get your feet.
I've seen bits of it. I haven't watched the whole Netflix series. I did watch some of it, and
Daddy, get your feet.
it was interesting. And I did like what I saw. I just never finished it. Other things popped up. It was also a really long graphic novel that he had written. Like if you get one of the many books, the book is like this big by like this thick.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's huge. It weighs like easily like 10 pounds per book. It's crazy. We have them at the library where I work. You could kill somebody with one of those. Like God forbid it falls on you from a higher shelf. I mean, those things are dangerous. The graphic novels, they're dangerous. But yeah, we have those. Yeah.
I remember reading Red Storm Rising, and that's another one that's like that thick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cats love those catnip bananas.
Catnip bananas.
So the other day I did a Happy Mail, and a lady had sent treats for the CEO and her entourage, and inside it was 3 catnip bananas, and then there was catnip pickles and catnip cats.
So you had all these little high monsters running around the house.
But it wasn't maybe 10 minutes, and then they were all sleeping.
Well, because sometimes they get hyper, sometimes they get like
Daddy loves you.
punch drunk.
She is just like so clingy today.
Go with it. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Well,
Exactly.
Look at this. I mean, she's just like curled up. It's like don't Don't move me. Don't take me anywhere.
Well, it is going to be getting colder, so they'll probably be wanting your cuddles more and more as the winter comes on.
Yeah, because winter is coming.
Oh yeah, but
You know,
the
I
cat,
never watched Game of Thrones. I never read it. I never watched it. I'm like, that's an investment I don't think that I have the time for, to be perfectly frank with.
It
well,
was. I actually. There was some really good twists in it. I mean, there was some really good stuff.
You know, it's like if I'm going to invest in a medieval fantasy setting, I want to start doing a playlist, like a full playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3.
What's wrong?
How come
You haven't heard of it? No?
It sounds familiar.
It's a video game.
Ah, that's why I was like, I know that name.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on playing it on my video game channel.
All right. Good night,
I've
Carson. Thanks
been
for stopping in.
good night. I've been dabbling with playing it offline on my own just to get a feel for the mechanics of the game because it's not something that I'm used to. Because it's very Dungeons and Dragons oriented. It's like a video game of Dungeons and Dragons where there's die rolls to determine whether or not you're successful. And there's all these different classes and races and subclasses and so on and so forth that you can be. And there's a lot of statistics and math, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. If you're not, it's like, wow, this is really daunting. But I'm on the fence between either playing a wood elf druid or a halfling. I'm thinking either a halfling warlock or a halfling rogue. You know, it's like sort of like evil Bilbo Baggins, you know, like the ne'er-do-well Bilbo Baggins, you know, because yeah, they've got halflings, they've got elves, they've got orcs, humans, other species. One's called a tiefling, which is sort of like this red horned impish looking thing. But I believe they're kind of cool, but haven't played as one. So I'm like flip-flopping between, you know, do I want to be like short and sort of pernicious and malicious, or do I want to be, you know, taller, an elf? And I'm thinking about being an elf because if I'm a druid, you can turn yourself into all sorts of animals and things. Yeah. When you start off, you can be a cat or a wolf or I think a badger and a spider, about the size of a dog-sized spider, like a big spider. And there was a part in the game that I was playing where there were a couple of rapscallion street urchins that I had to follow, but I couldn't because they went through like a small crawl space and none of my characters could get through. So I'm like, wait a minute. I had my druid turn into a cat. He got through no problem. You know, it's really cool. So I would like to do a playthrough of that. I'm playing several games already on my channel. I don't want to play too many at the same time because then the waters get a bit muddy, bouncing from this game to that game to the other game.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I was one of those kids that played D&D. So
yeah, me too. Like back in the 1980s when it was considered like the devil's playground, my dad was our dungeon master. You know, he was the one
how evil?
that encouraged.
That's like how evil you can find evil.
Yeah.
In anything. So
well, it was straight out of the last season of Stranger Things. You know, it's like people vilifying Dungeons and Dragons, like, oh, it's devil worship. No, we're rolling dice.
Yeah,
get a grip. We're having fun.
It's
but
all
yeah,
make-believe stuff.
Love Stranger Things.
It's an you know, I can't wait until the next season comes out. I really can't.
Walking around with drawings of dungeons in my peachy folder.
Your manila envelopes.
Oh my gosh.
Your marble composition notebooks.
I bought some padded vanilla envelopes, and I had to buy 1,000 of them.
Why? Why so many? You could buy smaller bundles of those at Walmart. Easy.
Yeah.
I have. You don't have to buy so many. Why'd you buy so many?
Did you pay 3 cents a piece for them?
You know, but if you have to buy that many, is it that great of a deal?
Yeah.
I should know better than to ask. You're right.
Because I used them a lot.
You know the expression, ask a stupid question, you know, or, you know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Well, I mean, try and get a vanilla envelope padded.
Manila.
That's what I said.
No, it's not.
Okay,
No, it's not. You said
It's
vanilla.
close enough.
Okay, he didn't answer the question. What book is the first book he would start off to read? Neil Gaiman.
Oh, Neil Gaiman, that's, I would say, either Coraline. Like, if you're looking for something a bit more whimsical and light, Coraline. Not Caroline, but Coraline. Something a bit darker and a bit more like adult, then I would say Neverwhere.
Well, Karen, I used the envelopes a lot. So
For
Coraline, did you say?
Yeah, Coraline.
Coraline. It was also
Not
Coraline.
Caroline.
Oh,
Coraline was a really, really, really good stop motion animation movie. Very much in a Tim Burton kind of theme look to it. And Neverwhere, there was a made for TV series done by the BBC back in the late 90s, which was great. It's a bit dated, but it was really good.
yeah.
So what do you use those envelopes for, Mr. Man?
for my Etsy shop,
Okay, okay.
when I have to send out pens.
Okay, I got Neverwhere.
Neverwhere was so good.
Okay.
I've been so busy making my Hexies. So busy. I've been making them this entire time. Me and my yarn bowl of fun. You know, so many of these.
I still want one of them yarn bowls.
Well, go get one. They're fun.
Too poor.
Yeah. What do you mean too poor? You are not too poor. Take the savings that you got from those 1,000 envelopes and go buy one.
I can't. I already spent it on the car.
Well, I can't help you with that.
Well, just send me yours and we call it even.
I will never part with my yarn bowl. I love him.
Let me see your yarn bowl. Show your yarn bowl. Show the yarn bowl.
I'm showing it. It's got like a little hook in the back, and then if you're so inclined, you can stick the yarn from inside of the bowl through the nose and feed the yarn through the nose if you want to. I love this. You know, he keeps me company. I love this thing.
Good morning, Queens.
I can't remember the name of the Etsy store that I got it from. It's something weird. I can't. Oh.
It looks like some character I've seen in like a movie or something.
Well, he reminds me of something that like Brian Froud or Jim Henson would create.
Yeah.
But they create like the most awesome,
No.
you know, well, they do yarn bowls, they do mugs. They
It looks like your mugs that your parents.
Yeah, the Dalton mugs.
The Dalton mugs.
You know, they have like really, really, really cool things where they'll like take like a mug and then they'll like take that face and like slap it onto the side, like stoneware type. You know, really, really, really nice work. You know, definitely would, you know, get another one if I was, you know, in the market for another one. I mean, this one serves me just fine. But I absolutely love their pieces. You know, they're very, very well made. I just can't quite remember the name of the store. But and they're not cheap, but again, you get what you pay for. And in this case, yes,
Well, yeah,
not
because
all cases. What?
that was handmade.
Yes. Well,
You
I
know,
have a
that
feeling.
wasn't.
You're gonna pay for that.
I have a feeling that the bowl, the base of the bowl, was probably done on a wheel, and then the face was sort of like a slab construction that was like put on and then carved and sculpted on the side of it. So that's what I believe. I mean, also the bowl is definitely glazed. The face, it has much more of a matte finish to it. It's like the face is not glazed. The eyes are definitely glazed, but. Oh, and and also, I mean, the teeth, even. I mean, there's a lot of detail in there. It's kind of gruesome, but I like it. They have some that are more whimsical and silly, and others that are like,
Yeah.
it depends what you're going for. And the thing about the various pieces on there, though, they're one of a kind. So when they're gone, it's like, yeah, no, they're gone. And they sell fast. I will say that because I've gone there, I've favorited a couple of things on there, and then I go there the next time, they're gone. So it's like if you like something,
Grab it.
be prepared to impulse buy.
Grab
Otherwise,
it.
it's not going to be there when you go back.
Good night, Bonnie. And
Good night, Bonnie.
Karen, you can use any yarn you want, but just remember a thicker yarn. It's not going to have the drape and the flow.
Well, also, I'm sorry, what's the question about the weight of the yarn for a cardigan?
Russ, do you think a bulky yarn would be okay for a Hexie cardigan? And I was just explaining that's going to make it very heavy. It's not gonna drape all that well, and I would not personally use a thick yarn for a cardigan.
A cardigan, no. A jacket,
yes.
I would say a jacket or like more of like a coat. Yes, I could see doing that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Russ. But a cardigan, something lighter.
Yep.
Like 4-weight tops, preferably a 3-weight, because you have a lot of yarn, a lot of yardage, a lot of coverage, and the heavier the yarn, the heavier the yarn weight, the thicker it's going to be, and it is going to weigh a ton. I have cardigans that are made out of a 3-weight. They're not light because you use a lot of yarn.
Yep. Queens, Tippy says hello. All right. Can Daddy have his arms back? This girl, I'm telling you.
You already know the answer to that. No, mortal, they're mine.
Now she'll sit down here and she'll cry.
Well, that's because you spoil them.
They have it rough around here.
They have you wrapped around their little paws.
Just like the kids outside.
Mm-hmm.
They have a heated house in the garage.
And a jacuzzi.
They have a heated water bowl in the winter. They have a heat lamp. They have straw.
And a masseuse.
They have cubby holes. And they get fed twice a day.
Such a hard life.
They have it rough.
Yeah.
If they were dogs, they would have it rough. But they're cats.
Yeah.
We just make sure that our animals are taken care of.
Darn tootin'.
Even the chickens have heat in the wintertime. We even have a heat lamp. Actually, there's 2 or 3 in the heat lamps. And they have their window in the summertime. They have their fan in the summertime. They have their screen door in the summertime. They get fresh water. In the wintertime, they got their heat and their heated water bowl.
Well, yeah, if they don't. I mean, I had a rabbit with a hutch outside when I was younger, and we would go out there, and the water was always frozen, and we would have to keep changing it all the time because we didn't have a heated water source for them. So we would have to change it often. it's rough.
Okay, well, we have been on 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to call it a night.
Okay.
I figured 3 hours is enough because there's always tomorrow night. Because 9 times out of 10, I'll probably be live again tomorrow night. Just saying.
Well, Matt, it was lovely meeting you and giving a chit chat.
Oh, believe me, I was I was hoping one of these times that I would bump into you.
Well, you lucked out because, like I said, Mama Spider's out this weekend, so you got lucky.
I kept thinking, I'm not worthy. I'm not
Oh,
worthy.
please. Please. You know I don't play those kind of games. You've been watching me long enough, and you know I do not play those kind of games.
Oh, I know. That's what I mean. I've been watching you for a long time.
Well, then you should know. I'm not.
And it was like that, having that fan moment, like meeting ooh.
Well, it's always delightful for me to meet new people. Like I said, it's again, I'm not throwing shade on the ladies, but it's always nice to meet, another fellow Stitcher because, we need the representation.
There's not many of us running around.
I mean, there are a lot of us, but there are more and more that come to make themselves known, and I love seeing that. I think it's great.
I mean, it was something that when I picked it up, it was like, I really like this because I like doing things with working with my hands, and it was something that I picked up, and I can.
Sometimes it just clicks. Yeah, I hear you. Believe you me, I get it. All right, Russ. Well, we will leave you to your little furry family.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you for having us on tonight. Thank you. It's been fun.
You guys are welcome.
It's been a blast.
Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it.
Russ, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It's a blast. I had a killer time tonight. I appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
Tell Mama.
Stay inspired, stay stitching, and stay safe. Toodles.
Exactly.
And he's gone like the wildfire.
Yes, indeedy.
Okay, Matt.
See you guys. See all you guys.
Have a good night. And I will see everybody in my next video. And always remember, Russ loves you. Bye, everybody.
And keep rocking it.